Good afternoon, race fans, and welcome here to the Las Vegas Motor Speedway for tonight's Las Vegas 300. My name is Robert Hill Jr., joined tonight, as always, by Chris Wright, who's back from illness, and Brent Jones back with us again tonight. Guys, how you doing?
Oh, we're looking forward to this big shebang 200 lap full distance race tonight.
Yeah, and I'm excited to be back. I still don't have my voice back all the way, but I assure y'all that I am feeling better. And let's just call it what it was. Had COVID there for a week, and
You got the
back at it
cocoa.
here for the full distance race here tonight.
Well, glad to have you back. Glad to have Brent with us as well. As you take a look here, track temperature 116 degrees Fahrenheit tonight. That's going to be balmy out there. 200 lap stages at 45 and 90. No cautions for those. 6 sets of tires. And let's take a look at the starting grid. It's Tyler Fode and Braxton DeWeese on the front row, followed by R.C. Anderson and Ethan Stanley in row number 2. Trey Heinsohn, Justin Fuller, row number 3. Scott Crump, Kean Raleigh, row 4. Chad Frankfield, David Tooker in row number 5. Row 6 is where we find John Cutlip and a Leighton Norgard. Just behind them, Seth Rawls, Corey Abbott, and Josh Adams. Brent, why don't you take us through to position number 30?
All right, we got Lathan Joyner starting 16th, Joshua Francis, the Barbecue Chip Machine 17th, Leighton J. Kanor 18th, Tyler Pop 19th, Jeff Green 20th. Then we got Josh Robin 21st, Jacob Adams 22nd, Johnny Thomas 3rd, Trey Holmes 24th, Matthew Weeks 25th, Jess Story 26th, Ethan Barrow 27th, Connor Thompson 28th, Temple 29th, and Kyan Jones starting 30th. And take us away to the rest there, Chris Wright.
Yeah, rounding out the field, we've got Hardcastle, Isabella, Tate Lytle coming from back there. David Carpenter's back there. Jane Racimas is back there. Jesse as well. Michael Goodman rolling off 37th. Want to wish a happy birthday to his mother, Renee Goodman. From me, her boyfriend, of course, Michael, her son.
As we are green. Congratulations on your relationship there, bud. Glad to see that you got something going. I guess it is with Mama Goody. But we are underway here at Vegas, Chris. Oh, man.
Hey,
Chris
we had a great
Wright.
time last night, you know?
Oh, geez. Yeah, at the birthday party, right? That's what we're talking about?
Yeah, and of course she has all these cool little things she makes there for Mrs. Goody's Goodies.
Hooded towels and all those fun things. As we do see on the racetrack, Tyler Fode, R.C. Anderson out front. Just behind them is where we find Trey Heinsohn and Ethan Stanley working their way through the racetrack.
Oh, 3 wide, Chad Frankenfield. Last week's winner gets into Scott Crump. Oh, we're wrecking here, boys.
Oh, Joe Francis and the Barbecue Chip Machine. Everyone just comes to a complete stop.
Jeez, we just had some drama. David Tooker not too pleased with the Chad Frankenfield machine. Let's take a look and see what just happened there.
Yeah, it looks like
David Tooker got involved.
Oh, he just dropped.
Looks like Frankenfield just forces it 3 wide on the bottom.
Poor Keenan Raleigh there.
Got into Scott Crump. Crump got into Raleigh.
Tooker got hit too as well by Crump. Went up and hit the wall. Ooh,
unfortunately, Crump just kind of got
damage.
forced out of it there. Not really much Scott could have done. Chad could have waited there, guys. Chad's arguing that he's below the 90, but he only goes below as they enter the corner. Chris, Brent.
There's no doubt the 15 caused the cause.
Yeah.
There's a time and place for that. Lap 1 is, yeah. Just going to say that much.
That's on Chad. Chad forced it 3 wide, caused that wreck. Tally on the 15, guys.
I can see him not getting the tally. I can see this being a rule racing deal, but there's, like you said, this is a full distance race. Lap 1 is not the time to make an aggressive maneuver like that. because while the 15 gets called underneath the 90, the 68 never gets the call, and that's why he turns down.
Yeah. These guys are not pleased in the radio chatter.
But Jonathan Cutlip gets good damage here. Josh Adams misses it. Good job by Josh Adams. The 25, the 35, they get pretty good damage. The 13 gets damage. Oh, they wrecked back here behind them, too. Tate
Yeah,
Lytle, I think, was involved in this as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah,
there
let's
was a
go back.
separate incident with Pop and a few others there. Well, it was just a reactionary
Guys,
thing.
I'm going to have to issue that a tally on Chad. It was just a late dive to the inside. That just an unforced issue early on.
Oh, Tate checks up, gets hit by Vince.
Yeah,
30 then gets spun as well there.
We're at 1 degree now, it's a heads up.
And we are about to go green once again. Chad not pleased that he's been issued a tally, but tally issued to the 15.
So we're going back to green.
We are going to be back under green. Chris, why don't you call us through this restart?
Yeah, here we go. Green is out. Tyler Fody has picked the top lane for this restart. Big jump here for him and Ethan Stanley. And oh, by the way, my pick to win this thing, I think I'm going to go ahead and pick... Man, I was going to pick Ethan Stanley, but that 77 looks pretty good out there.
Yeah, Chris, Trey Eidson has been on a bit of a hot streak in recent weeks here. Just watching a little bit further back, nearly some contact there with the Rory Collins machine.
I'm always in for a great Jeremy Mayfield throwback.
Yep.
But I still got to take Ethan Stanley. I think Ethan's going to win the race.
I was going to say, I was kind of shocked by Trey's self-doubt last week in our post-race interview. It seems like he's really doing well out there lately.
Yeah, Trey Eidson definitely on a bit of a tear in recent weeks, picking up a couple victories across I believe the Cup Series he won. I might be wrong, guys. Was it the Cup Series that he won a few weeks ago, or was it here in the Grand National Series?
Grand National.
He won one of these races, yeah.
He definitely won one of these races. He picked up an ARCA victory as well. Again, tomorrow night, Pit Pass Network ARCA Series kicks off the playoffs at Richmond. So tune in for that. That should be a fun one. Well, Trey Eidson's the pick for Chris Wright. Is that correct, Chris?
No, Ethan Stanley.
Ethan Stanley, sorry. You mentioned Trey Eidson as well. But Brent Jones, who do you got, bud?
Oh, man, it's going to be so predictable, but it's happened all but one time.
I know who you're talking about. Oh, you're talking about
Fody.
I thought you were talking about somebody else that's been on the tear here in Elite. I'm going to go with another low-hanging fruit. I'm going to go with the 55, Justin Fuller.
Nice.
Fuller's been on a massive tear since he decided to come into the Elite Racing League and kick things off. So, got to go with Fuller, man. He's showing what he can do. I kind of knew what Justin could do coming into Elite just based off of some past experience that I do have with the driver. We've raced together numerous times in other leagues, and just knowing what he can do is pretty solid. Jacob Adams and Josh Adams riding together. Jake's already up 13 spots in the 52, and he's moving. Jess Story up 14 spots. Vincent Isabella up 16. Garrison Hogan started dead last. He's up 20 spots already. So we see someone dive to the inside. It's Chad Frankenfield. Now, I just want to keep some transparency here for the folks at home. Chad has appealed the first tally, which we're going to review as admins. That's what happens when a tally is issued and a driver opts to appeal. You know, it's their choice if they want to appeal it. They have to present a video to the administrative panel. We'll take a look and make a ruling on it. I won't make a ruling as I was the one that called it, but it may get overturned. So we'll keep an eye on that. I have it marked down here. If Chad picks up a second tally, he'll still get to continue on as he has appealed his first.
Yeah, I just think it wasn't the right move to be made there. Like, he's got an argument, but
For
at the
sure.
same time...
If it was later in the race, I'd be like, okay, I get it.
I think the reason that it was issued a tally is more situational. That it was so early in the race and throwing the 3 wide to the inside when there really wasn't necessarily the correct spacing to do it is more the reason that a tally was issued. But the administrative panel may come around and say, hey, that's a racing deal, and that's part of it. As we do take a look through the field, guys, we're going to take a look a little bit further back. We see Gerald Campbell out here. He's side by side with Casey Hatch. Some classic looking paint schemes there. The Yingling number 14. Is that how you say it, Brent Jones? I think you know how to say that word properly.
I don't know. I'm not from that part of the country. We actually don't even sell it up here, really.
Well,
Michigan.
You got to move to another part of the country. As Jake Kaner nearly gets into the back of Josh Robin there in the number 9. Again, folks, let's get some sponsors on Jake Kaner's car. That guy, he needs sponsors on that machine. Hearing some thanks to Dustin Durr for saving something. So let's take a look and see. Ooh, look at the rear end of Jake Kaner's car, man.
Ooh.
He's got a horseshoe on his rear end. If that was caused by Dustin Durr, it's kind of a funny coincidence, as of course Dustin Durr, a horseshoe champion. I was about to say cornhole or whatever Chad calls that game.
Cornhole and horseshoes are 2 different things.
Absolutely they are.
The one you're throwing, obviously, horseshoes, and one you're throwing
So
little beanbag-like things.
we got to give this guy a little bit of TV time. He always has a lot of fans out here. Braxton DeWeese currently running 6th for Shift Esports. He's down 4 spots from the start of this one. About to be 5. Nearly contact there with Jacob Adams. As Adams, ooh, that still may turn into contact. Looked like
I
Braxton
should
was
have probably
closing
picked
down
one of
just a
those
little
Adams
bit there.
boys. They both were
They're
always
motoring
really
here
fast
tonight.
but I didn't
Jacob
pick
up
because neither one of them-
16, Josh up 7. Neither
Yeah,
one of
neither
them qualified well.
qualified.
I mean, Jake started 22nd. He's currently 6th here on lap 16. He's gaining 1 spot per lap. Currently up 16 positions. Another guy I want to take a look at, Kian Raleigh, was involved in the early incident. Now finds himself back in position 31. His car's not looking terrible. He has some front end damage, which is certainly going to affect that machine. But if they can get that fixed up throughout the next couple of stops, I would expect Kian Raleigh to work his way forward. Tate
Another
Lytle.
car that's moving forward is Tate. Yeah, I was just about to talk about Tate. He got spun in that first wreck, but no major damage, and he's making his way forward.
John Cutlip, another driver, having to work his way back forward. Not as quickly as Tate. I think he has a little bit more front-end damage, which is definitely hindering the performance of that machine. Hopefully, they can get it fixed back up. But I'm going to jump up to the midfield here. I want to give a warm welcome back to the series to Corey Abbott. Haven't seen him in a little bit. Nice to see old Pork Chop back on the racetrack with us.
Yeah, as insider info, he was having some doubts about his effort, his practice earlier today, and just glad he's up there running well right now. They're in the top 20.
Always nice to see Corey Abbott out here. I've got a soft spot in my heart for Corey just based off the fact that him and I finished 1st and 2nd last season at Daytona in the Truck Series, and well, he still owes me one. As Jeff Green goes around after contact with Kian Raleigh. Let's take a look at that one, boys. Jeff Green running the second groove. Kian Raleigh comes up. Yeah, that's on Kian. Kian just went way up the racetrack into the side of Jeff Green.
Yes, and then he got him again.
Yeah, that's clear on the 68 there. on lap 19.
And Jeff had already gotten some damage.
Kian's argument, well, first off, he's saying he shouldn't be. The radio tonight is absolutely comical, but
We're not even done with the first stage yet.
Kian Raleigh, his argument is that Jeff Green wasn't using the whole racetrack, but at the same time, you kind of have to share the racetrack as well. You can't just imagine that everyone else is going to run the exact same line into the corner as you.
Yeah, I mean, he just went up and hit Jeff, you know. I'm not sure how he's... Not really sure how you can be upset with the other guy when you wrecked him. That's my take on it.
So, Scott Crump stayed out on the racetrack, guys. Scott Crump stayed out. Looks like Fody going to win the race off pit road, followed by Fuller, Stanley, Enerson, Eidson, DeWeese, Adams, and Johnny Thomas. That's your top 10. Johnny Thomas got a little bit lucky there, able to gain a couple spots based off of his pit position and his line out of the pits. But it looks like Crump's going to come down pit road, take his pit stop. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have continued coverage of the Las Vegas 300 here on the Elite Racing Network. Don't go anywhere.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
And we are back here at the Las Vegas 300 as we are about to go green once again. Tyler Fody is your race leader with Justin Fuller on his outside. Brent and Chris, been a bit of a hectic start to this one. 2 cautions already, and a lot of heated drivers in the field as Tyler Fody gets a great restart.
Yeah, these boys woke up today and chose violence, chose aggression.
After the caution-free race, or the one caution race last week, this is sure a different complexion early on, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely not. I mean, I love how Chris put it. They woke up and chose violence today. That's for darn sure, as these drivers all seem to be just after each other. Ethan Burrell slides up the racetrack. Jess Story took a peek, and he decided to back
in the
out
back.
of
Is
it.
that Jeff Green?
Connor Thompson, Andrew Hardcastle involved. Hardcastle going way through the grass. Connor Thompson also involved. Looks like we're going to stay under the green flag. Good job keeping it green, guys. That was definitely unfortunate there for those guys. Ethan Stanley now to the outside of Tyler Fode. It's side by side for the race lead. As Fode able to break back out and get back single file just ahead of Ethan Stanley. We did have an incident there between Andrew Hardcastle and Connor Thompson. Both drivers ended up going through the grass, with Andrew just staying on the loud pedal, able to keep it going clean and green. They're a good bit back from the leaders now, about a straightaway back from the tail of the field, but we were able to stay under the green flag, which is always a nice thing out here on the racetrack. As Brent mentioned, we like those races that have very few yellows.
Indeed.
Indeed, indeed. As David Carpenter sliding back a little bit, we see Josh Robin on his outside. Jaden Racimus up there as well in P31. He's up 5 spots on the night, as is Carpenter. As we see just way up the racetrack, actually, we saw the purple machine. I believe that was Garrison Hogan. Yes, Garrison Hogan already up 27 spots from the start of this one. We had a little bit of a bobble towards the front of the field. Justin Fuller, Jacob Adams, and Braxton DeWeese all under an umbrella there. Trey Eidson and Joshua Adams all there as well. Vincent Isabella seems to be falling back. He's on the inside of Jess Story, and well, those guys have a bit of history, guys.
Yeah, taking a look at these Adams brothers, man. They are moving forward, and
yeah, the Adams family, very strong. Just looking for cousin It out here on the racetrack as Jacob Adams goes up to the top, tries to get by Braxton DeWeese, gets back in line as Justin Fuller going to take a peek to the inside. But yeah, as you mentioned, Jake and Josh both very strong here tonight, and they're not looking to slow down one bit.
I think that they definitely are the 2 cars that are going to be able to take the fight up here to the Lake Norman guys at the front right now.
So one thing I just noticed here, guys, we had some contact not too long ago between Chad Frankenfield and Robert Smith. I'm going to pull it up on the Rebilas Photography replay machine and see what happened. It was a 4X for both of them, so definitely some major damage between the no, it was just a blink from Chad, actually, so nothing too bad. So that's always good to see, as Ethan Stanley all over the rear end of Tyler Fode. He could smell what he had for dinner. He's so close. Stanley to the inside of Fode. Fode up top, Stanley down low. The former Blue Egg Marketing car up top, and the Blue Egg Marketing car on the bottom. Of course, Blue Egg Marketing, the marketing department for small businesses, small business owners. Blue Egg is your biggest fan, that's for darn sure. As you see Ethan Stanley repping those colors. The IRAPS machine up top. Chad Frankenfield coming to pit road. Right? He's going to pull down the racetrack and go pit side in the number 15 machine.
He had to have picked up some damage. Let me see if I can find that.
Yep.
He had a 4X with Robert Smith. So I'm thinking that he picked up a bit of damage there. It didn't show on the screen, but Chad has come down pit road. He's going to bring it to the attention of
it was on the lap 23 incident. The lap 23 incident where the cars went into the grass.
Okay, so Chad was involved in that one and then had another incident with Robert Smith. Chad did make it down pit road cleanly, but he's going to go a lap down here as we see Garrison Hogan get by Jess Story back there in 14th and 15th. Jesse Racimus having issues. He's slow on the high side. Mentioned that he had way too much damage. We can see the rear end damage on that machine. Chad Frankenfield now leaving pit road after a 28-second pit stop. So definitely some damage on the Kicking the Tires 15 machine as he's going to exit the pits. I believe he may stay on the lead lap here. Actually, he is 1 lap down, so I do stand corrected there. No, I think Chad's about to go 2 down as Fode should be able to get by the Kicking the Tires machine, quite possibly, depending on how well those tires worked out.
They got contact in front of him. One car went down to the grass. They stacked up. Chad did not check up quite in time, got into the back of Jesse Racimus, and did a bunch of damage to the nose of his car.
That explains the damage on Jesse's car. That one, that was not reported, so we didn't actually take a look at it. Didn't find it, as we see Pork Chop and Hatchie swapping spots. Corey Abbott and Casey Hatch.
Good run for a Hatchie here so far. Kept it steady so far up there around the top 20.
He's up 18 spots so far. I mean, yes, we've had a little bit of adversity, but to be up 18 spots is really, really strong for that 14 machine. Hasn't had the season he's been looking for. Missed a couple cup races due to not qualifying, but hey, he's almost in the top 20 now, and he started way, way back in 39th. So great gains by Casey Hatch here tonight, but I can't take my eyes off of a few drivers up here towards the front. Jacob Adams up 18 spots to 4th. Johnny Thomas in 9th. He's up 14. The driver right behind him, Ethan Burrell, up 17 spots to 10th. And he's already been caught up in an incident and had to work his way back forward. Not too far behind him, Garrison Hogan up 29 spots to 13th. Vincent Isabella, Tate Lytle, both up 17 each. Tate's had a bit of a longer journey forward as he was, of course, caught up in the lap 2 incident.
Oh, Ethan Stanley just got a piece of the wall. Wrecking on the backstretch.
Oh my goodness.
It's Ethan Stanley and R.C. Enerson.
Oh.
Ethan Stanley, R.C. Enerson. Ethan Stanley just said, my bad. So that's where we're going to take a look.
I seen him hit the wall, and then the next thing I knew, they were wrecking.
Stanley down there already parked by the time I saw my view.
Stanley slides up into the outside wall.
Jake just gets through there,
Jake just misses it. R.C. Enerson. Let's see if we can take a look. I believe he misses the wall. Yes, he does.
Decent damage to the right side, though, for RC. Right side, right front.
That'll be a tally on the 92 of Ethan Stanley. That's his first. Ethan, I appreciate you speaking up right away. That is a tally on Ethan Stanley, as you just heard.
I don't know if you can afford to come and get another set of tires right here.
And this is a dilemma with the stage coming up here as well. And coming up here about 5 laps to go at the restart.
Yeah, we're getting down to the nitty gritty here of the stage. So this should be interesting, but guys, here they come.
Oh.
A Leighton Norgard gonna stay out. Norgard, Hogan.
A bunch of cars back there on
Weeks
outside the top 20.
Gonna stay out. Lytle, Jess Story looking to write another chapter here tonight. Jay Kaner, Corey Abbott, Casey Hatch, Gerald Campbell, Tyler Pop, Dustin Durr, Michael Goodman, Carpenter, Jaden Racimus, Seth Rawls, and Cash James all staying out on the racetrack. Guys, I don't mind this play when it comes to stage points.
Now, especially this early in the season.
You got 16 guys that stayed out. If you're Casey Hatch forward, I think you're going to be safe to get some sort of stage points.
Yeah.
It may be more like Jay Kaner forward, but definitely not a bad call.
Yeah,
I like staying out here.
Yep, this is a good call. I don't see ourselves going 5 more
I
laps
also would have stayed out here. I mean, unless I'm towards the rear of the field, not really having much speed, I might not stay out. But then again, if my tires aren't bad, I would much rather save a set for the end of the race.
Indeed.
Because if you're going to get continuous cautions, by the way, Chad Frankenfield back on the lead lap as of this latest caution. So still a long way to go for Chad in the number 15 machine. Long way to go. Still a great shot to maybe get a decent finish depending on the damage on that car. Just taking a look at a couple notables through the field. Everyone's notable, of course, but Matthew Weeks up 22 spots to 3rd. Tate Lytle back in the top 5. He's up 29 spots. I can't not talk about Jess Story. He took advantage of a strategy here. Currently scored in 5th. Gerald Campbell in 9th. He's up 20 spots. The do-good cars, Dustin Durr, Michael Goodman, and Dave Carpenter, 11th through 13th out there. And the kid, Jaden Racimus, currently scored in 14th. Not a bad run.
Yeah, talking about those do-good cars, once again, just in case that she wasn't here for the broadcast, happy birthday to my wonderful girlfriend, Renee.
Happy birthday.
All right, we're going to hand over the mic to Brent Jones. He's going to sing happy birthday to Mrs. Goody.
Happy birthday to you. Dun, dun, dun. Happy birthday to you. Dun, dun, dun. Happy birthday, Mrs. Goody. Dun, dun, dun. Happy birthday to you.
And that'll be our final broadcast as Brent Jones just blew out the eardrums of our listeners. Well, Brent, good job. Happy birthday to Mrs. Goody.
Dun, dun, dun.
I hope you got some custom-made hooded towels for us up here in the Elite Racing Network booth. We might be here all night long. We will see. As the white flag is out, we're going to go green next time by.
The white flag's out.
Oh my goodness, Robert.
The white flag, yeah? It means we're going to go green next time.
You mean the one to go signal by the flag man?
Well, on dirt, we wave a white flag. Okay, so... I got to give some chat here to Latham Joyner, so excuse the pop-ups on the screen. Latham wants to
You
be
know,
able to
if Latham
stop.
would just get himself in line.
If he
wouldn't
just
have to
stopped
get
being a bad
unmuted.
boy, he'd be all right.
So as it sits, the first car on tires
Tyler Fody.
is 17th.
It's going to be interesting to watch. We got to watch for wheel spin as well, guys. That's something.
You know what's coming? You know what's coming?
A big wreck.
A big old wreck. That's right. This is the
We got to watch for a big one here, that's for sure.
perfect scenario. This is like when they tell you there's a tornado watch.
You know what we're going to do? We're going to watch all the cars go by from the starter cam here, because I don't know if they're going to make it all the way. Green flag's out. Already wheel spin by Leighton Norgard.
He did get a good
They
jump,
made
though.
it. They did. They made it through. We're going to watch Fody here.
Jacob Adams, they're 4 wide back here in the traffic.
There they go!
Contact,
RC.
Jacob Adams is involved. Josh Adams is involved.
Oh my God, they're still wrecking.
Oh my goodness. And that will probably do it for the stage.
Oh. Guys, I think that was a racing deal.
I mean, I think that's on the 05. The 05 went up.
Oh, the
then
05
Jake got
came
to his
down.
outside, and then he came all the way down, and RC was already there. You know.
Yeah, good
that's on
call,
the
Chris.
05. I hate to do that. Cash is my buddy and a friend, but
Oh, man.
David
Tally for the
Tucker
lap 41
is
incident
done.
will be issued to the 05 of Cash James.
That just
Tucker's
seems-
got heavy damage. Jeff Green, the 35 was in it again. The 22, Cutlip.
Oh, we got some saying out again here.
Oh yeah, your bed's made. But see, this is why I
Yeah,
wouldn't have
that-
pitted. There
yeah,
is
that's
no way I would have
Yep.
been Jacob Adams and pitted right here.
Yeah,
Josh
the
Adams and
die's
pitted
been
right
the
here.
die's cast for a while. Even if you do get a green flag run, you gotta stick to it at this point.
I just think that was a bad call. It's like they had
Yeah.
Alan Gustafson on the box and we're listening to him or something.
I mean, to be fair, he shouldn't be a crew chief anymore, anyways. After what happened Sunday, he should go be selling hot dogs at Daytona. Too cruel.
That was, I don't know. Guys, I just hope these guys clear it up. We still got a long way to go. 158 laps remaining. We're here on lap 43. Yikes.
Look, this is the most functional my racing's been in like 3 weeks, so I'm just happy to have the banter.
Now, Chris, why don't you walk us through your bout with COVID?
My bout, well, I was really sick. I was looking forward to the great release of Death there for a couple days.
1 second here.
And I believe we
What was that, Chad?
I mean, it's looking pretty good going around the top right there, but
But oh, everybody was muted there. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. All right, we are now joined by Jacob Adams. Jake, I thought you were listening to Alan Gustafson there with that pit call. I didn't like it. I don't think anybody else up here liked everybody pitting there, putting yourself back there, and we called it before it happened there, the wreck that was coming. So take us through your night. Obviously, it looked like you had great speed. You and your brother Josh were flying through the field, and now you both. I think Josh just spun, but obviously you got hit by about 14 different cars. It looked like.
yeah. So I mean, I kind of flipped a coin what I was gonna do, and I saw everybody behind me doing the same thing. So I'm just like, I don't really want to get off sequence and throw away a chance to win the race right there. And um, we were looking pretty good on the outside, and just 3 wide on the top. I don't know what happened. I haven't seen the wreck yet, but just a victim. That's the way to see
I'll
it.
let you know it was 4 wide. You were on the top of 4 wide.
Yeah, you were. We confirmed that already.
Yeah, well then my demise was definitely coming then.
So, I mean, this was terrible news for you. This was a terrible night. You had great speed, though, so a lot to look forward to. But is there any announcement you want to make tonight here and talking about some good news?
Yeah, me and my girlfriend are expecting our second baby in January. So
Hey!
there's that.
Hooray!
Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
You can name your kid Elite.
Yeah, I think we'll go away from that one.
Oh, okay.
But, any other good names anybody wants to throw my way, I'm all ears. But
Do we,
I'm partial
Yeah,
to
we're-
Chris.
do we know if it's a
Hey.
boy or girl yet?
it is another little girl. Yeah.
Oh, man. Here we go. We can call it Christine, right? Or Christina after Chris.
Well, we have one of those.
I know we got one, but we can have two.
Yeah, we'll figure
Or
out eventually. But for now, we're just gonna try and get this damage fixed and see where
Absolutely.
we end up. Definitely didn't need this for the points, but really wanted some stage points there, and I thought it looked good getting them going around the top there. But
Long
Oh,
way
well.
to go in the season, that's for sure, Jake. You can get them
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, real quick, any sponsors you want to thank? Shout out you want to give?
yeah, I'm just sitting here sipping on a hard Baja Blast. And everybody go out and get some. It's pretty good. So yeah, that's all I
All
got.
distributed
Shout out
in
my
Michigan.
teammates that are left. Hope they can get one here.
Yeah, I hope so too. Well, unfortunate luck for you tonight, Jake. Hopefully, we can see you in victory lane next time out.
All right, thanks, guys.
That was Jacob Adams, driver of the number 52 for Mountain Man Motorsports here tonight. Tough luck for him here at Vegas. Sometimes you roll snake eyes, boys.
Indeed. We are back to green here in the meantime. And those
Oh, contact Latham Joyner into the side of Vincent Isabella. Vincent's going to spin. Oh, and a Leighton Norgard is destroyed. Head on into the wall.
Please.
Here we go.
What I say about making bets a few minutes ago here, Chris?
I believe that the trigger car there was Latham Joyner.
Wow. Let's just keep
Oh,
an
I'm
eye
sorry.
on
It was
this
the
one.
27. It was not Latham Joyner. It's the 27 of Braxton DeWeese.
I just want to keep an eye here, just make sure nothing happens. I know there's been some heat so far amongst some of these guys. And somebody's just coming a little bit quick on the racetrack. I just want to make sure. Looks like we're okay. No.
Well, I think I want to have an interview with Michael Goodman here during this caution.
Yeah, let's just take a quick look here at the replay. You said it started around Braxton.
Yeah, but looking back at it, Vincent got loose before Braxton hit him.
That's a racing deal.
Well, I believe that's on the 82 actually, self spin.
I don't know about that.
He definitely
Let me
got
take another
loose
look here,
and then got
Chris.
hit.
If we don't call straight, it's gonna really affect my strategy.
82 just got sideways, turned off into the corner, and I don't think he was catching it. Like,
Really, how this car drives is so different from dirty air.
It almost looked like Vince. I don't know. Did he get like a netcode hit from behind or something? Because it looked like he checked up and then it
looks like he
loosened.
just lost it.
We're plotting against Bodie.
Hmm. That one's tough.
Well, the beauty of it is it's your decision. I just get to give my input, and I think he just lost it. I think it's a self spin. But I just want to talk to Goody. I want to get Goody up here and see how
Yeah.
he's doing.
One sec. We'll bring Goody up here in a sec. What lap was that caution, guys? 46?
Yep.
Upon review of the lap 46 incident, tally issued to the 82.
Giddy, that's because the strategy's working. Batting against him.
All right, let's go ahead and bring up Goody.
Ethan, I was just naming off pro edge drivers. There's so many of them in part of it.
There he is.
All right, we are now joined by Michael Goodman.
Hey,
Michael, you got some track position, somebody's birthday. I mean,
Yeah.
how is it going?
it's not going bad. Yeah,
Goody,
happy
did you
birthday,
know-
Mama.
Did you know that Chris is your stepdad now?
Yeah, yeah. I hope you treat her right. You know, take her out to a nice birthday
You gotta
dinner.
call him Daddy right.
Yeah, Daddy, right? You gotta treat me right. Treat her right.
He ain't gotta treat you at all.
Oh yeah, he does. Mama likes to spoil her son, so
you get some hooded towels.
that's right. You get, yeah. I got one for my birthday or Christmas, so I was pretty pumped about that. But yeah, we're having fun. We're kind of mixing up the strategy here a little bit and see what happens. We're gonna get eaten alive here on this restart, but hopefully in the long con game it'll work out for us.
Y'all been hanging tough there up front since the strategy call.
Well,
Yeah, a lot of these guys behind you have been wrecked now, so.
yeah, they've been wrecking. I don't know if we ran a green flag lap since we stayed on these tires, so
I don't think
we'll
so.
be cooked here. We'll be cooked here in a little bit, but we're driving good, playing the long con game, and we'll see where we're at the end.
I need you to get up on the rear end of that 13 on the start here.
Oh, Poppy boy.
Yeah, he needs
Yeah,
to
we can
pop
do that.
off. Y'all gonna go 1-2 here, you and Dusty. And
They
Carp
got it
third.
for you.
Carb 30. Yeah, we're gonna leave Gerald in the dust. You know, screw that guy. So we're gonna maybe spin him out. I don't know. We'll see.
So where can people go to get Mrs. Goody's goodies?
You just message her, go on Facebook, search Mrs. Goodies Goodies, and she has all the different styles towels she has on there. And yeah, check her out today. Wish her a happy birthday on there. She'll get your message.
30th
and-
birthday too, right?
Just an
30th,
FYI,
yep,
we're
30th,
watching the
yep. 30
32
years
of
young.
Doer for blinking.
Oh, Doer got caught for blinking. All right, well I'm ready to restart, so
Good luck, bud.
I gotta focus
Good
up.
luck,
Thank
here,
you.
buddy.
And we are about to be back underway here. What a drama-filled race, boys.
Indeed. Yeah. We saved all the good charms for Indy last week, it appears.
Great start by Goody. Able to get up to the rear of the Tyler Pop machine. Looks like Dustin Durr may have cleared up his blinking a little bit there. Dave Carpenter dives down to the inside.
Like, Goody Doer might get second here. He will.
I do want to keep an eye around them here because I think some guys might try some adventurous moves as we have.
Josh Adams. That
Adams
was
is a foot in
contact
the
with
wall.
RC. RC moved up, got the 27, and that knocked him up into Josh.
Braxton. Man, I feel bad for both the Adams brothers. They've been caught up in incidents with the same guys.
Yeah, RC just came up, got the 27, and then got into the 56 there.
Yeah, I hate that for our good buddy Josh Adams as we see Latham Joyner take a dive to the inside of Dustin Dirts. Fody to the inside of Gerald for the race lead.
Now, does that count as a tally for the 50? With giving him severe damage there? Or no?
I don't believe so.
It's a hornet's nest around like 9th right now. Oh my goodness.
As we got Gerald Campbell, Latham Joyner side by side.
I mean, if this is what you want, if you came
Actually,
to watch fight,
just taking a look back at it, Chris, you're correct. Yeah, that is a tally on the 50 of R.C. Anderson. Dave
Yeah, I wasn't sure
Carpenter's
how that
falling
worked.
here.
Oh,
Dave
his
Carpenter.
Braxton in the wall though. What a save by Carp though.
That right there was
We're not done
madness.
yet.
Goody's
Oh,
going around.
Goody!
Michael Goodman's around. Caution's out here on lap 55.
I think Crump just got into the back of him. Michael had to lift. He was in the middle 3 wide. Just
Let's
got
take a
tagged
look.
by Crump.
I am so sorry, Goody. We
That's
jinxed
just
you.
old tires versus new tires. And if you're Crump, you got to realize these guys are coming back to the field on old tires.
A little bit of a checkup there by Goody. The 90 into the rear of the Michael Goodman machine, but Goody checked up not to slide up into Tooker.
But back to that RC deal, I
That's
thought
just
that was a
unfortunate
tally.
right there.
That's why I asked, because it was that 56 is destroyed.
Yeah, I was gonna say right from the start, it would look bad.
We're gonna go to a quick commercial break here on lap 55. We'll be back in just a few moments.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
All right, welcome back to the Las Vegas 300, everybody. On this beautiful night. We got Tyler Fody up in the lead. Latham Joyner up in second, leading the front row, and you got Ethan Barrell in third, Johnny Thomas fourth, Josh Robin fifth, sixth Trey Holmes, seventh Chad Frankenfield, eighth David Tooker, ninth Garrison Hogan, and Jess Story route the top 10 with Crump, Tate Lytle, Crump, Stanley, Hatchie, and Trey Eidson tailing the behind him in the next 5 spots afterwards. We're at the one that pace car's about to peel off of 4 here, and we're going to restart this baby once more.
Thank you, Brent Jones, for bringing us back in from commercial. Again, you heard from TA Services and iRacing.com. TA, one of our premier partners, along with Blue Egg Marketing. Blue Egg is the marketing department for small businesses, small business owners. Blue Egg is your biggest fan, and Tyler Fody is a fan of this green flag that's about to come out, Brent Jones.
Indeed so. He got a really good jump on that one. They're stacking up behind on Hatchie. Looking good.
Yeah, 3 wide. Casey Hatch up top. It's Ken Raleigh and Matthew Weeks that slid through on the inside. We see Tyler Pop. He's worked his way a little bit further back. It looks like a bit of an issue around the RC Anderson machine. Maybe some damage on that car. He's driving into the rear of the Braxton DeWeese machine. We'll keep our eyes peeled there, see if there's any further issues between those drivers. But we heard about Blue Egg and TA Services. We also have to give a shout out here to Worldwide Technology Raceway, a racing facility in Madison, Illinois, home to a 1.25-mile oval, 2-mile road course, quarter-mile drag strip, and a state-of-the-art karting facility known as the Kartplex. Check out Worldwide Technology Raceway today. And, of course, Rebilas Photography, RebilasPhoto.com for all your photography needs. Now, Chris, obviously, you've got some experience around this racetrack. What are some of the challenges that these drivers will continue to face tonight, in addition to what they've already faced thus far?
I mean, I don't know how much of it's the racetrack and just the people's decision-making tonight. Dealing with this, I missed last week in Indy, but I did hear enough to know that it was a great race. Not a whole lot of cautions. Everybody kind of gave each other plenty of room, and tonight it's just the complete opposite. And for a full distance race, we usually see them pretty tame at the start, but tonight, right from the first time they hit 4th gear, I mean, it has just been 110% all take, no give, and just full send.
I mean, the thing is, we're 6 cautions in here already, not even halfway, as we see Chad Frankenfield. Guys, he was a lap down earlier, now inside the top 10 as Vincent Isabella gets by Braxton DeWeese towards the rear of the field. Looks like Vince has some damage repaired on that machine. Still quite a bit of damage. Jess Story showing some displeasure here to Ethan Stanley.
Yeah, and I was actually looking right at that. I'm not sure what Jess wants Ethan to do here. They're both
David
running the top.
Tucker, I don't know if he got a little snug or if he threw a block there on Trey Eidson, but Tucker went for a bit of a slide down the racetrack. Now Eidson moves up to look to the outside of Tucker. Tucker goes up to block that lane. Still 137 laps to go, so a long way to go in this one.
Like Latham might be setting up here on Fody here.
Yeah, Latham Joyner has been in line with Tyler Fody for a little bit here. A 1/10 of a second back, trying to close that gap. He's going to work the draft behind the Fody machine, see if he can have an opportunity to go to the outside. Here he goes. Still about a 10th back, so Joyner...
4 wide. 4 wide back around Ethan Stanley, Jess Story, Jake Canore, I reckon.
Oh my goodness.
Ethan Stanley, Jess Story involved in that one.
And I gotta tell you guys, I do not know what Jess was thinking there. I just don't understand for the life of me what Jess was thinking.
Let's take a look here at the Jess Story machine. As maybe we won't. There we go. Let's try to take a look now. Jess Story goes to the outside of Ethan Stanley. Story hold. Chris, I don't know, bud.
I just don't understand why you would make that move on the front
I'm
right
gonna
there.
try to get a better view of this because if you look at the lane, Jess is hanging that top groove. It looks like Ethan might come up a little bit.
Look, I'm not saying that you have
Gainer
to blame Jess or anything like that.
No, of course.
But as a racer, you're running 3 wide. You're going down the front stretch at Las Vegas
Chris,
3 wide, and you're going to throw it 4 wide. And
Just for transparency again, and the viewers at home can see this, I'm gonna go with the netcode. There was heavy netcode there between the 29 and the 92 on my screen that ends up hooking the 92. So I'm gonna go with.
Yeah, I get that, but just as a racer, I just don't know what Jess is thinking trying to make that move. That's a low move right there, low IQ move. That's never going to work. Jess was frustrated about being stuck behind Ethan, and we heard him say something a couple laps ago. But Ethan was stuck behind Chad on the top. You know, they were all stuck. After a restart, there was nowhere to go. And Jess made that move out of frustration, and it just was not a smart move.
I'm gonna go ahead and make the call. I'm gonna go with netcode on that one. But I will issue a warning to the drivers that we need to be more cognizant of our moves here with such a long way to go.
That's just a move that's never going to work right there. That's just on the white flag lap. That's a move you make, maybe, you know, trying to fill a hole, you know, trying to win the race. But 140 laps left in the race, you just do not throw that in there wide.
Let's take one additional view on this one.
Like that's my whole thing with it is the driver did not make a very smart decision.
I just want to take an additional look a little bit further back. The contact was definitely netcode on my screen, which is...
It was netcode on my screen too, but I just the decision to even be there was not a good one. Like, I understand when the move was made, it was netcode. I seen the netcode. Everybody's seen the netcode. But it was just such a low percentage move that was never going to work. It just a very, very bad decision, bad move, dumb move in my opinion.
That was, guys, nobody's using their brains right now, and that's what I just told the drivers of the field. I said, we have 133 to go. Let's start using our brains here and smarten up.
Yeah, as a driver, that kind of move frustrates me when somebody makes a move like that. And it doesn't matter who it is. Jess is a teammate of mine. I consider him a friend.
Of course.
He might not think so right now, but...
Oh, I've got teammates that make dumb moves all the time. Justin Vandermeer wrecked me one time. Hi, Justin. But Justin Vandermeer wrecked me one time at, I think it was Richmond, Justin, if you're watching. But being 69 laps in, 7 cautions, it's not acceptable.
I agree.
We're all drivers up here.
And we have Jess in here looking for an interview. I don't want him to think that we didn't bring him up because of what I had to say and that I would run. Like I'm here. I'm very curious to hear
let's
his
go ahead
side.
and bring him up.
But hey, let's wait until next caution. Let Jess know I don't want to rush through this conversation.
Brent, you want to go down and just quickly tell Jess' story that we'll get to him on the next yellow?
10-4.
Thanks, Brent. We definitely will talk to Jess' story. We just want to get his side of the story in just a few moments, I'm sure.
I am kind of in and out right now, but I have yet to fall out of the server, so just heads up.
Thanks, Brent. And thank you for being the messenger.
No problem. I didn't realize we were on the air again.
We're always on the air, my friend. We are always on the air here. 69 down, 132 to go. Let's hope it's not another 10 cautions or so. What a night.
Indeed.
What a night. It's not even half over.
I know, that's scary. As we are back at a green, Tyler Fody on the loud pedal here through the Geico restart zone. Latham Joyner not getting the best of restarts, but hey, he's still up there a lot further than I'd ever be. One thing to point out, Garrison Hogan all over the rear end of the Ethan Burrell Machinas. We see Tate Lytle take a peek to the inside of Garrison, or as he would say, Scary Gary. Just behind him, Trey Holmes. Holmes trying to work his way up forward. Holmes having a nice run. Matthew Weeks, David Tooker. So a lot of Pro Edge guys up here towards the front of the field. Kean Raleigh, this guy's been in, I don't even know how many wrecks tonight. He's been caught up in just about everything, and he's just outside the top 10. As we look a little bit further back, Vincent Isabella has his car looking pretty. There's Chad behind him. Trey Eidson takes the dive to the inside of Dave Carpenter. It's Carpenter in the middle. Josh Adams up top. Trey Eidson, I believe, made some door contact with Dave Carpenter. They're able to continue on, but we have to keep our eyes on Chad Frankenfield. It's Frankenfield trying to work his way. What kind of word is that? He's trying to work his way forward, just behind the Vincent Isabella machine. He slides up. It's going to be tight.
David Tooker trying to get, he's getting passed on both sides to the backstretch.
Tooker falling back. It's Jaden Racimus up on the high side. The younger Racimus up in the top 15 here tonight. Great drive by Jaden here. And again, yes, a lot of drivers have had issues, but he's still up there. His car's still looking clean, so got to give credit to Jaden Racimus.
Tied 3 wide back around Chad Frankenfield.
Yeah, as we imagined, Chad wide, getting pushed by Trey Eidson on the inside of Joe Francis. Francis looks like he's going to slide up, but potentially into the side of Vincent Isabella. They're going to continue to be 3 wide. We're going to keep our eyes on this one, as we're going to go up to the drone cam brought to you by Dave Huckleberry. Thanks, Dave. I wonder if Dave knows that he brings us all these aerial shots.
Oh, I think Dave knows. Dave's awesome, too.
Casey
Dave was
Hatch
another
in the
guy.
outside wall. A little bit of contact there with Seth Rawls. He was able to gather it back up. Sorry, Chris.
Oh, you're good. Dave was another guy that was messaging me throughout the week last week, asking how I was doing.
We're just
Looking
glad to
out
have
for-
you back as Crump goes to the apron.
Looking out for his people. I consider us Dave's people. Everybody at Elite Racing Network is Dave's people.
Dave is like our dad here at the Elite Racing
God,
Network.
he's God to us. That's what Dave is.
Papa Huck. Papa Huck. Indeed. As we keep an eye here, just want to let you all know that tomorrow night, again, Pit Pass Network ARCA Series kicks off our playoffs here in 2023B. We're going to be headed to Richmond. Chris Wright will be joining me up here in the booth. Brent, are you going to be on the racetrack tomorrow? No, you're not even here.
I believe we lost Brent.
We
yeah.
lost Brent. Brent, well, it's nice knowing you, buddy. Brent Jones having some connection issues, but Chris will be up here in the booth with me as we head to the playoffs tomorrow. And then Wednesday night, we're going to be racing a long time on Wednesday. We're going to Darlington for a full-length race. Some weird number of laps, 300 and something.
And it's the throwback race. Although I don't have a throwback, I'm still supporting the throwback.
Yeah. Chris Wright.
Maybe if Justin's listening, he can throw me something together real quick.
Well, we're going to throw it back as a team. That's something we're doing. We're going to throw it back as a team. And, hey, I guess it's as good a time as any to let the people know that we're going to have a special guest behind the wheel of one of our Mountain Man Motorsports machines Wednesday night.
We are?
It's going to be the return of Nick Massey.
Shit, that's news to me. I mean, shoot, that's news to me.
You mean Chad? Chad, that's news to me.
I didn't know Nick was making a return.
Yeah, Nick Massey going to be behind the wheel of the number 48 for Mountain Man Motorsports. Gerald Campbell, Latham Joyner, side by side for second. Gerald sliding up the racetrack nearly into the side of Latham Joyner. Just behind them, we find Ethan Burrell, and if we need help finding him, we can go to Yahoo.
Oh, Josh Adams is around.
No.
RC Scott Crump. Joe Francis
Scott
is involved.
Crump, Joe Francis, Casey Hatch, Robert Smith. Oh. 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 Oh.
This is what I come back to.
Josh is frustrated with Trey Eidson, but Trey was there. Josh just turned down trying to pinch him, and contact was made. Trey was definitely just right on the white line. Josh just came down and got him. And there was a little bit of net code involved, but they were going to make contact his way. Josh just was not going to give him the room.
Yeah, it's the 56 down into the 77. That's going to be a tally on Josh Adams.
Yeah, and I cannot say that I disagree. I think that's a good call.
Again, I hate doing it. Love Josh.
He just came down and got him.
My teammate, but yeah, he came down on the 77. Lap 79 incident will be ruled a tally on the 56, came down into the 77, and then a chain reaction from there.
And that 56 is crabbing.
I'm sorry, what was that?
That 56 is crab walking. But we got Jess Story down here. Let's
Yeah, let's go ahead and hear his story.
We are joined by Jess Story from a couple cautions back. Jess, I'm just going to be straight up honest with you. I thought that you made a pretty terrible move there on the front stretch. Maybe you have a different way of looking at it and can enlighten me a little bit, but I am not going to shy away from what I said earlier in case you hear it later and you don't think that I was going to say it to you.
I mean, yeah, I think everybody has their own about it, but I mean, looking back on it the last couple of laps, I've been trying to get around Ethan Stanley for the last couple of laps, going to that, making that same move to the top, and every single time he's chopped me off, and I was just like, I got to hold up. I didn't realize we were 3 wide though, so granted, yeah, that was kind of, probably not the best move, but it's just a product of over aggressive driving, going on. I feel like I'm just as guilty of it as everybody else. It's just one of those deals. I hate it, it's but all in all, it was a good night. I got some stage points, but yeah, just over aggressive driving.
Yeah, it's been a rough night, that's for sure, and that wasn't the only incident tonight that was rough. I will say that this has been. I hear that Indy was pretty good last week. What's going on tonight out there, Jess?
I don't know. Maybe because of the fact, I guess Las Vegas, you can run high, low, or do whatever. I think Indy, it's mainly one racetrack. I feel like some of these drivers just have the confidence to go down in there and just race as hard as possible. It's just that you can't just you can't go down into a corner and expect the guy to lift every. And like some of these guys need to understand that. And I mean, myself included, I have my own fair share of moments where I'm like, what am I doing? But I mean, I think overall it's just a product of everyone's so close together, and I think it's just a product of this type of racing with fixed cars and everything like that. With everything so close together, you got to do what you got to do, and it's an unfortunate deal, and it ended my night early. But it is what it is.
Yeah, and before we let you jump out of here, we'll give you a chance to shout out your sponsors and anybody's watching you might want to shout out.
Yeah, I kind of wish I had sponsors right now, but that's okay. But yeah, big shout out to Robert here for broadcasting his races, giving me an opportunity to drive his cars. They're a lot of fun to drive. My teammates have been a blast to work with. They're very fast, very consistent, and I've been learning a lot from them. So big shout out to them and everybody at the league. It's fun racing in these leagues, and I hope to continue forward with that.
Well, all right, Jess. I know everybody on that team wants things to get turned around. Rough night again, but there are brighter days ahead coming. I'm sure of it. So thanks for coming up here and talking to us, and good luck next week and moving forward.
Cheers, brother.
All right.
So, speaking of the team and wanting to turn it around, I definitely agree. Most of our guys not having a good night tonight. Top running car, Cash? Yeah, actually, let me correct that. Only running car, Cash James. And that's it. Jess Story, Jake Adams, both having issues. Josh Personette didn't start tonight.
A shout out to Jade Racimas up there in 9.
Actually, I stand corrected. I forgot him. Conan Jones. He's out there as well. 25th. So 25th and 29th currently. As Jacob Adams rejoins the field. Look at that. What was 2 now becomes 3. He's 13 laps down, but Jake back in the race. And by
at
the
rate
way,
of cautions, he might not be out of this thing just yet.
I'm going to continue the transparency here. We do have an appeal from Josh Adams. Adams has opted to appeal his tally on lap 79.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to get overturned. I think that one's going to stick.
And again, it's his right to appeal it. And we'll go from there. We are coming up on the next stage. End of lap 90 into 91 will be stage number 2. So we'll keep our eyes on that as we see a battle for second. It's Ethan Burrell and Garrison Hogan. Hogan on the high side. Did we have
tire strategies flip again?
We did. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you for filling me on that.
The top 17 or so all
Here goes
basically
Fody, making
opted
a
to
move
stay
forward.
out.
Out of 4 wide.
Sharp is that? He somehow make it work.
Wow. That's a little wild. Seth Rawls comes up in front of Tyler Fody. Ooh, Fody comes down. This is going to get hairy, guys. Keep your eyes peeled. Fody to the inside of Connor Thompson. Goes by Latham Joyner. Thompson slides up. Thompson moved up the racetrack by Joyner.
That one. Oh, there they go.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, Josh Robin.
Wrecking again.
Oh, John with nowhere
John
to go.
Cutlip's in there.
Cutlip, Racimus, Carpenter, Robin.
You could see that one coming from a mile away.
This is terrible. These drivers are capable of better.
As we're told, the stage will end 85 to 86. Stage ends 85 to 86. Let's take a look at the caution. Also, Gerald just won a stage. The day that everyone told him he's washed up. Guys, I think this ticks off around Connor Thompson.
Yeah, that's pretty much was a continuation of the last lap, but some guys coming and going there.
Ooh. Maybe not. Let's take a look at car 70. No,
I do think it is Connor Thompson just turning right and checking up in the middle of the corner. Stacks up.
Well, Thompson got hit by Latham Joyner, which pushes... Well, then actually the 30 slides up, gets hit by the 3.
I don't see any contact there.
There was contact. Gets into the outside wall. And then it's kind of a reaction. Seth Rawls moves down. Looks like Jesse Racimus moves up there.
Oh, yeah. There's a car there that they weren't expecting. That's going to happen every turn.
That's a chain
At
reaction.
this point, the 70 and the 25 are not expect. They're going down to the 3,
No,
not
of
expecting
course.
the 35 to be there. Or the 30. Oh, okay. So there's the contact.
Yeah, you see the contact with the 3?
Yeah, there's the
That's
contact.
what triggered that, and then this was all chain reaction afterwards.
This is just frustrating to watch. Because, like I said, these guys are capable of doing a better show. than what we've got right now.
Yeah, that one's going to be issued a racing deal. Just a chain reaction after the slightest of contact. Lap 85 caution is ruled a racing deal. Chain reaction started with a little bit of contact between the 3 and the 30, and then it kicked off from there. So lap 85 racing deal. So we're under caution number 9 here before halfway, on pace for about 20 cautions. Not the best start here for the Elite Racing League Rebilas Photography Grand National Series. I mean, Chad Frankville was a lap down earlier tonight. Currently your race leader. Kean Raleigh has been in a bunch of cautions. I don't think any of his doing... Actually, he has 1 tally on lap 19, but he's been in about 5 or 6 cautions since, and is now scored in position number 6. Cash James was in an incident. He's up in the top 10. Michael Goodman, Braxton DeWeese, they've all been in incidents, and now they're up here in the top 10. Wild. What a wild night, guys.
Embarrassing night is what it is.
I definitely do agree with that.
I'm biting my tongue.
I ain't scared. I'm not going to bite my tongue when I see stuff that shouldn't be happening.
I've got words that I would use, but...
we in commercial right now?
And they are better than this. Every one of these drivers is capable of racing smarter than what we're seeing here.
Yeah, this is unacceptable. Brent, we are not under caution.
Oh.
We are just expressing our displeasure.
We are under caution.
I was going to say, I can see I've been in and out.
I do want to take a quick look. I want to point one thing out here, guys. We're an hour 16 into the session. 89 laps in, 112 to go. We have an hour and 38 remaining in the server. We might not be racing to 200.
These guys might be running out of tires.
I want to just make sure that I got that number right.
There's an hour
6 sets of
38
tires.
left.
Yeah. That's going to be tight. As we're going to go green.
120 lap run will be all right, but it's
Chris.
we got to do better.
No. We're not going to get one of them, as these guys have not shown it tonight. A very terrible night here. Condon Jones gets moved up the racetrack. I believe that was contact with Garrison Hogan.
I think he was trying to get up there too. He's in front of the guys that just pitted for tires.
Yeah. Is Ethan Stanley up top, Garrison in the middle. That is Gerald Campbell down low. Gerald, the stage winner!
Ooh.
As he thought he could do a burnout to celebrate his stage.
Yeah, Gerald's landscaping services right there.
As he comes back up the racetrack, able to continue on. Johnny Thomas takes over the top spot. Thomas up 22 spots from the start of the race. Your biggest mover thus far is currently scored in position number 7. Cash James up 36 spots. Garrison Hogan up 32 as well. So a couple big movers up here in the top 10. That'll definitely change as the race progresses and the guys on the newer tires work their way forward. But still something to be pleased about for those guys. As we see Kean Raleigh up on the high side of Chad Frankenfield. Frankenfield on the bottom, Raleigh up top. Here comes Cash James. Just behind Cash to the outside of Chad.
3 wide back there around Scott Crump and Tate Lytle.
Scott Crump, Tate Lytle, Jesse Racimus, Connor Thompson, Robert Smith, Condon Jones, all back there. Looks like Trey Holmes there as well. Trey might look 3 wide That was going to be tight, but he opted out of it. Nearly gets into the back of Robert Smith. Keep an eye on Trey Holmes here. He's pushing. Gerald Campbell almost into the rear of Trey Holmes. I didn't think we'd be focused on a battle for 20-something at this point, but hey, battles are battles. Tate Lytle moving his way forward. Braxton DeWeese by Tate Lytle up on the high side. He's behind Chad Frankenfield. Frankenfield has fallen back from the start of the race. He was the leader on that last restart. Now scored in position number 10. That's your tire difference. Just behind him is a very tight Tate Lytle and Braxton DeWeese. They're making contact. That's a little tight. As somebody just played a sound effect. I'm pretty sure it was
Braxton Swall there just now.
Gerald Braxton slinging the high side. Chad falling back. Tyler Pop looking to the inside. Jay Kaner went around on the high side. Matthew Weeks going to follow suit on the inside of Chad. Just behind them, Casey Hatch, Corey Abbott trying to work their way forward as well. One thing to keep an eye on, Michael Goodman still up in the top 10. He's working his way forward. Move Goody to the top 5, guys. He's going to get by Trey Eidson. Garrison Hogan with a run behind Goody. He's going to give him a push. Nope. He's going to go the inside, 3 wide. Nearly contact there. Goodman slides up nearly into the Trey Eidson machine as Garrison Hogan pokes his nose to the inside.
Johnny Thomas driving away is the leader right now.
Yeah, Johnny Thomas. He has got himself a bit of a lead now. A second over Tyler Fody, 1.2 over Joyner, 1.9 over Kean Raleigh. So that's always nice. And, you know, I hope we're at the point where these guys can settle down. Maybe smarten up and get us going forward. We have a swap of positions here. Jaden Racimas, Corey Abbott, Dustin Durr, and Chad Frankenfield all duking it out. Someone said they
and
got
in a race with a
raindrops.
lot of attrition, I am not surprised Johnny is one of the guys that still has a good car.
Yep.
He's
Johnny's-
always really smart, you know.
I was just gonna
him
say
being
that.
from Ohio makes him super smart.
Well, no, but
Yeah, it does.
no, definitely not.
Hey,
No, definitely not.
No state has sent more people to the moon than the state of Ohio.
It's just because they know Elon. That's all. That's all.
I don't think Elon was around back for those Apollo missions.
Yeah, he was. His name was like X2547 copyright symbol or something like that, like his kid.
Anyway, people from Ohio are super smart, and Johnny's proving that point right now.
What happened to you? I'm just
Look.
kidding. You were on the border, weren't you? As we have finally hit halfway.
Hooray.
100 down, 100 to go. Johnny Thomas, your leader, over Tyler Fody, Latham Joyner, Kean Raleigh, and Garrison Hogan, the top 5. Ethan Burrell, Michael Goodman, Cash James, Tate Lytle, and Jay Kaner, the top 10. As Tate Lytle looks to the inside of Money Jim. Move Lytle up to position 8 as he's going to tightly slide up in front of Cash James in car 05. Gerald's sending his people somewhere. We got Scott Crump still mad. Ethan Burrell working his way forward, scored in 6th. Kean Raleigh, they're going by a lap car. That's a Leighton Norgard up top. He's driving the number 12 modified out here. I think he showed up early for the modified race. Now, Chris, obviously your return tonight. How are you feeling here as we're a portion of the race, portion of the way through the race?
What do you mean? How am I feeling? I got to be more specific.
How's your health after talking for 100 laps? You still
I feel
feeling all
pretty
right?
good. I know I still sound pretty
You
bad.
sound better than the start of the race. I think I think you're talking your way through all these cautions and talking your way out of illness.
I feel fine. I felt pretty good yesterday.
Good.
Maybe missed out on some sleep that I've been catching up on, but I otherwise I feel pretty good. I feel way better than I felt last week. I'm not quite back to 100%, but I'm more disgusted with this race and what we're seeing than
I think that's
bad.
a common feeling here. Definitely a common feeling. I want to find somebody that's in a hornet's nest. Well, there's somebody. We're going to go on board with Trey Holmes. As he rides in behind Chad Frankenfield. Let's get a feeling of what these drivers are seeing out here on the racetrack. He nearly ran into Chad Frankenfield.
Where's Mark at this week? There hasn't been really any severe weather to chase. He out chasing Hillary there on the West Coast?
He might be. He might be. He might be down in Florida as well for the Daytona NASCAR race this upcoming weekend. You never know.
Yeah, Mark
Honestly,
seems like he'd be a fun
you never
hang.
know. You never know where you're going to find Mark Rebilas.
And that, of course,
We got
this
a
is his
couple cool
series.
Marks here in Elite. We got Mark Rebilas. We got Mark Keeler. We got the insurance guy, Mark Murphy.
Yeah, Mark Murphy's easily the worst of the Marks, though.
We love you too, Murphy. Or sorry, Murph Markey.
But no, Mark seems like a great hang. You know, even Mark Murphy. You know, he doesn't live too far from me, so
Yeah, you should go hang out with him.
I don't know.
I think
he'd get me in some trouble.
I think we should set up a play date between you and Murph.
A play date.
A play date. As Johnny Thomas, he's having a play date up here with Tyler Fode. Fode all over the rear end of the number 91 machine. And just a quick update, Jacob Adams came back onto the racetrack and then was hit with a meatball flag. That's a mechanical black flag, which brought him to pit road as Tyler Fode on the inside of Johnny Thomas. That's your battle for the lead. It's Thomas on the high side. Tyler Fode down on the inside. They're going to keep duking it out here off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Fode with a brief advantage, but I think Johnny Thomas might have a bit of an upper hand as they head down through 3 and 4. And no, Tyler Fode clears. Move Fode back into the lead just because Brent Jones is here.
Indeed. Well, it always happens.
You know how it is, Jonesy. Every time you're here, Tyler Fode has a great run, which is not surprising. Fode, very strong driver here in the Elite Racing League. And I want to give another shout out here to Jaden Mercedes. Yes, again, we've had some adversity, but he's in position 12, and he's done a nice job. Very nice job by the 07 machine. He last pit on 86. He's on the same strategy as everyone else. And he's worked his way forward up 24 positions. So, great run by the kid tonight.
Yeah, another good run there for him as everybody gets kind of strung back out up here at the front. You know, Mark Rebilas is, you know, the sponsor of the series, but he doesn't give us anything to say. I think he likes to be a silent sponsor, but he's a great guy, great follow, takes lots of pictures. If you need pictures taken, follow him on Twitter.
If you like lighthouses not lighthouses, clouds shaped like things that are not lighthouses, but some people say it looks like one. No, it's not.
He'll take pictures of anything.
It's
Bar
a
mitzvah,
body part.
Yeah, like anything.
Frankenfield to pit road. Chad coming down. The
Get you some
first of
new
our
golf
drivers
shots.
here. Again, Chad was on an off strategy, and he's opted to come down. So, Frankenfield, the first to kick off the pit stops here. By the way, Josh Adams still scored on the lead lap. He is the next car to go one lap down. He's about a corner and a half away from Tyler Fode. Currently scored in position 32. Another driver we have to give a shout out to tonight. Haven't talked a ton about him whatsoever, except for when he's been in or around incidents. Jay Kaner currently scored in position number 9 in car number 9, and he's gained 9 spots since the start of the race, so that's got to be a sign of something good. Just behind him, Tyler Popp. He's up 9 spots to position 10 in that 13 machine. Michael Goodman up 26 spots. Jaden Racimus up 24. Cash James up 30. Dustin Durr up 24 as well. Casey Hatch up 23 spots. Garrison Hogan, he's up 40 spots in his car. Looks spick and span as he got by Johnny Thomas and has now scored in that second spot.
Yeah, we're fixing to see if anybody's going to try to try to make it on one stop from here. I'm not sure about the fuel window.
We're getting some drama between Kynan Jones and Jesse Racimus. Just give me one moment here, guys. We're going to throw it to a quick commercial break, and we'll be back on the Elite Racing Network. Don't go anywhere.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
And we are back here in the Vegas 300. Tyler Fode, Garrison Hogan out front. Johnny Thomas, Latham Joyner, Ethan Burrell, the top 5. Just behind them, Tate Lytle, Kean Raleigh, Matthew Weeks, Jay Kaner, and Tyler Popp. And as we mentioned, just outside, Michael Goodman, Jaden Racimus, Cash James, Dustin Durr, and Trey Eidson, the top 15. As we look through the field, trying to find some battles on the racetrack, we definitely got a few of those. And one of them, well, it's right here. Ethan Burrell, Latham Joyner, duking it out for position number 4. It's Joyner up top, Burrell down to the inside as Kynan Jones heads to pit lane in the 85 machine. He's going to come to the attention of his pit crew. Get some new tires. Get that machine all squared away and back out on the racetrack. Another one of those drivers with a bit of an off strategy here tonight. Now, Chris and Brent, we've gotten a bit of a green flag run here.
Finally. Now I'm curious to see how the strategy's going to play out. Like you said, is everybody a two-stop? If everybody's a two-stop, the guys that are pitting now are probably going to have the upper hand. If people can run far enough to make it on one stop, then that's going to change some things.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to see what happens here with, of course, still 81 laps to go. These drivers have done a nice job in the second half of this race thus far. We have gone green since the stage ended on lap 86. So thank the Huckleberry for that. That's what we'll say here tonight as we watch Chad Frankenfield. He's working his way by the inside of a Leighton Norgard as Tyler Fode leads, but Garrison Hogan trying to close that gap. One thing about Hogan is he's very quick here tonight, worked his way up. I just hope that he has not burnt his tires too soon here to have a shot at Tyler Fode on this specific run, because if you don't get by the leader and then it comes down to pit stops and by chance, you know, you have a slow stop or something along those lines, it could definitely hurt you. Because you want to make up as much time as you can before that pit stop. Right?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm just thinking in my mind here. How many laps of fuel these guys have at the start of every run? About 40-ish.
Yeah, I'd say about 40. Chris may have that number a little bit more than we do.
I am reaching out to pit road here, seeing if people can make it on one stop.
Just don't call Alan Gustafson, okay?
Yes, I agree with that 100%.
I don't know that he'll give us an accurate number. Tate Lytle looks like he was maybe thinking about coming pit side, or it might have just been a terrible camera view. As we see the field work their way by a lapped car. I'm not sure which vehicle that was. But Ethan Stanley is who that vehicle was. He, of course, dealing with some issues as a result of a couple incidents he was involved in earlier tonight. Tough luck for Ethan Stanley out here. Typically a strong runner here in all of the Elite Racing League, especially after his breakout season in ARCA last season. Speaking of Ethan Stanley, he comes pit side, and he came down a little hot.
Ooh.
Looks like he's all clear, though, so no speeding penalty for Ethan Stanley. That's always a plus when you can work your way down quick, but still be alive. We have a battle for 11th. It's Goodman up top. Jaden Racimus on the inside. Cash James just behind them. It's a 3-car battle for 11th.
Three horse show at the pony. Whatever they call
Well, you
it.
know what? We went from 3. Let's make it 4 as Dustin Durr trying to join that fight. Connor
All right, boys, I got
Thompson
some
comes
intel.
pit side. Look at this. Chris Wright. He's been back for about 10 minutes, and he's got insight for us. Welcome back, Chris. What do you got?
The going thinking is everyone who pitted on the last caution is going to be able to make it. But the ones who didn't, it is going to be very close. Talking to the do-good guys, they believe they can make it. Talking to some other guys who are running up a little bit closer to the front, they don't know yet. They are figuring out if they can save it enough.
10-4 on that.
We'll definitely have to wait and see what they have to say.
So I'm not sure if you got pit numbers you can look at there about the front 10 cars when they last pitted.
Absolutely. Let's take a gander. Lap 80 for Fody, 80 for Thomas and Joyner, with the rest of the top 10 pitting on lap 86. Chad Frankenfield once again making a very tight move to the inside of Robert Smith.
So the lap 80 guys is probably a hard no on one more stop. They're going to stop twice.
It's going to be tight.
Anybody else up there stop on lap 8? What are we looking at with Ethan Burrell?
Ethan Burrell, lap 86 for Burrell. So he's got 6 laps on those guys. That's going to be tight, especially with the way the race has gone. If we bunch these guys up late on a restart.
When did Goodman pit?
Mikey Good. Somebody's coming down pit road. Goodman, lap 80.
Yeah.
Just an update. Trey Eidson should be coming down soon. He last pit on 66.
So did anybody else?
Whoa.
Was there any
Wait.
pit stops after 86?
66. Casey Hatch, Josh Robin come down pit road. Trey Eidson has not pit since lap 66.
Impressive. Absolutely.
How in the
impressive
world
driving.
has he made it that long?
He's got to pit soon. He's got to be into this fuel run.
I think that might be a glitch somehow. There's no way he's made
Did
it almost
anybody
70
pit
laps.
after lap 86 under a caution? Is there a group of cars after that?
No.
Okay, so the lap
that was
86
our last
guys
caution.
think they can make it. But the lap 80 guys, it's real tight.
This is going to be interesting. Trey Eidson's gone a long way here. If he can make it like 5 to 10 more laps, he could do it once. He could make that his final stop. I don't think there's any way he can do that, though. He's got to be coming down. Wow. Okay. Ooh, that was a little tight.
I think Stanley may have nicked the wall there a little bit.
Yeah, Ethan Stanley not having a good night tonight. He's currently scored 33rd. Robert Smith comes down pit road, as does the Rocket Man, Seth Rawls. He comes down from 24th as Ethan Burrell working his way through the field. He's trying to work his way forward as we see a battle behind him. It's Johnny Thomas up top, Tate Lytle down low. Tate trying to work his way forward. Here he comes. Tate Lytle works his way forward. Garrison Hogan still trying to close that gap on Tyler Fody. They're about 3 seconds ahead of everyone else. Braxton DeWeese comes down pit road in his number 27 machine. We'll keep an eye on everyone else.
Right here, boys.
There's no way Trey can make it any longer. He's got to come down. As we'll take a look, Trey Ides. Kean Raleigh pits from the top 10. There we go. Brent Jones just got really excited. Oh, Trey. That might have been quick for Trey Idson. I think he may have got it woed up just in time, but Kean Raleigh might have just set something off here, guys.
Black flag, Trey Idson.
Oh,
that is a
that's
black
a
flag,
dagger right
Trey
there.
Idson. And anybody pitting now is not getting to the end.
Yes.
No doubt. These guys are having to pit again.
Trey Idson, unfortunately, getting caught with a speeding penalty. Going to have to serve that one on pit road. It's Connor Thompson working his way by in the 30 machine. He is, of course, one of our lapped cars here tonight. The first car, one lap down, is Chad Frankenfield in position 22. He's trying to work his way back onto the lead lap. Idson still serving that penalty. That one hurts. That one really hurts. Jesse Racimus coming down. Jesse scored 34th. Money Jim comes down from just outside the top 10. He's going to pit, and he's got one of the first stalls. So lucky. Oh, no. Cash James. Oh, no. Catastrophic pit stop here for him. Had to reverse, had to readjust. I think, did he make it?
And he's left.
And Cash James has left the building. Okay. Cash James, catastrophic pit stop there. And he has parked for the night. So Cash James, a little frustrated with himself there. Decides to call it an evening. Guys, we are in the midst of this pit cycle here. 66 laps to go. It's Tyler Fody, Garrison Hogan, Latham Joyner, Ethan Burrell, Tate Lytle. That's top 5. Matthew Weeks, Johnny Thomas, Jay Kaner, Tyler Popp, and Gerald Campbell. That's your top 10 as Chad Frankenfield trying to work his way through. One thing to keep an eye on throughout the field here is, of course, new versus old. That is the tires that we're talking about here. And that's definitely something that may come into play as Ethan Burrell being very excited. I must say I love Ethan Burrell when he gets excited in the middle of a race.
Probably one of our energetic guys in the garage area, that's for sure.
He could be running dead last, and he's like, yeah, let's go. I'm excited.
I will tell you this, we're about 5 laps away from the leader hitting pit road, I think. I'm using every bit of information that I can gather here about Tyler Fody's fuel situation.
Guys, I want to point out the gap between second and third. It's approaching 5 seconds between Hogan and Joyner. That is massive. Hogan's still about a half a second back from Tyler Fody. Fody dealing with the lap car of Connor Thompson. Thompson looks to the outside of Fody. That's going to slow Tyler down a little bit as it gets a little tight off at 2. The Tyler Fody machine to the inside of Connor Thompson, still battling it out, and he's actually still pulling away from Garrison Hogan, so a little bit of luck with the draft, I guess, from Connor Thompson, helping the Fody machine get that gap. We're going to keep an eye on these guys here because I'm sure, as Chris mentioned, we are just mere moments away from another pit stop here in the Las Vegas 300. Tyler Popp had a brief blink there, able to get that sorted
I think
back
we're about
out.
3 away from Fody hitting pit road.
Yep.
With Fody being 3 away, he pit on lap 80. Latham Joyner may be on that same strategy as him, as well as Corey Abbott. Those guys all pit on 80. Everyone else is about 86 to 87, with Trey Holmes being the latest of the top 15 to pit on lap 87.
The question is, can they go to the end? Because, you know, there was another caution after lap 80 where everybody else pitted a little bit later.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting here to see what happens. Tyler Fody continues to lead. He's coming up on Joe Francis. Francis about to go 1 lap down. So that'll steal the lucky dog spot from Chad Frankenfield. Jacob Adams about to go an additional lap down as Garrison Hogan trying to close that gap before the pit stops. About 4.5 tenths back from Tyler Fody.
Fody might come this time, but I think, based on what I'm looking at, he's got enough to go another lap.
Fody stays. He does not. Corey Abbott's coming down. He's on the same pit cycle as Tyler Fody and Latham Joyner, so watch for those guys to come down. I don't expect
Fody's gonna pit this
Johnny
time.
Thomas coming down this time as well in
Fody's
car
gonna
91. Thomas pit on lap 80 as well. Michael Goodman coming down. Tyler Fody is coming down. Yep. Joyner coming down pit road as well. Latham mentioned he has no idea how to get down pit road here. Of course,
Sure.
first-
It out.
yeah, actually pretty solid entry there from Latham Joyner. So Joyner, Fody, Thomas, Abbott, and Goodman all coming down pit road. We'll see if anyone in behind them opts to come down as well. But Garrison Hogan, your leader over Tate Lytle, Jay Kaner, Ethan Burrell, Matthew Weeks, Tyler Pop, Gerald Campbell, Dustin Durr, Trey Holmes, and Jaden Racimus. The top 10 here on lap 143. Still 58 laps to go. Scott Crump battling to keep himself on the lead lap. He took a look to the inside of Garrison. Not quite able to get there.
Tyler Fody blending back onto the racetrack.
Yeah, taking a look here. Fody does merge back on the track. Looks like he's going to be 1 lap down.
The question now becomes, can he make it from here?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. 56 laps to go. Garrison, Tate, someone's coming down. I think that was Tate Lytle. That just said he was coming down. Dusty going to come down. Yeah, here comes Dustin Durr, the horseshoe champion. Comes down pit road. Somebody else just announced they were coming down. Dave Carpenter comes down. Garrison Hogan looks like he's going to stay out. Scott Crump comes to pit road. Crump comes down.
And I feel like everybody from this point forward is going to make it. Fody is going to be close.
I think what's going to be interesting is if we get another caution. Ethan Burrell came down pit road. Burrell pit. Cutlip going to come. Hogan
Garrison's
coming
pitting
down.
this time.
Tate, I think, said he was coming down as well. He might have called out the wrong number, but I think Tate's coming down. Jay Kaner's coming down.
Here comes Garrison.
Rory Collins came down. Garrison, yes, said he was coming down.
Oh, Garrison spun
Oh no!
through his box.
Jay Kaner came down. Tate
Trey Holmes
stays
is pitting.
out.
Trey Holmes.
Garrison's
Tyler
just now
Pop.
getting jacked up.
Yeah, Pop and Holmes come down. Pop goes for a slide. He pops coming down pit road. Trey Holmes, Garrison Hogan, Jay Kaner on pit road. Jaden Racimus comes down as well. Tate Lytle, Matthew Weeks, Gerald Campbell remain out there, as does Kian Raleigh. Lytle
And
coming
Fody
down.
is around. Fody is around the one already, and the one
Yep.
still has all the way come.
Gerald's
down.
pitting. I think Gerald's pitting here.
Yeah, Gerald's coming down. Tate's coming down. Matthew Weeks stays out on the racetrack. Kian Raleigh still out there. Tyler Fody will be scored in third unless Matthew Weeks opts to come down this time. He last pit on 86. So he should likely come down this time. Garrison Hogan just now coming out onto the racetrack. Matthew Weeks dives down. He's coming down this time. It's Weeks to pit road. That should hand over the lead to Tyler Fode, because I think Kean Raleigh is thinking about coming. Actually, no, Kean pit on 131. So Kean's okay.
Ooh.
Kean pit 10 laps sooner than Fode on 131. So Kean will be the leader, but I don't know for how long.
And he's already right within a second already.
So your leaders as they cycle through, it'll be Kean Raleigh, Tyler Fode, Chad Frankville, Kynan Jones, Latham Joyner, the top 5, followed by Braxton DeWeese, Garrison Hogan, Casey
Here comes
Hatch,
Fode.
Johnny Thomas, and Ethan Burrell. That's the top 10. As Fode gets by Kean Raleigh, as Brent Jones mentioned here, we're coming up to 51 laps to go.
But we know Kean, Chad, Kanyan are going to have to make another stop.
Kynan.
For sure.
I think Garrison's in a good spot. Garrison, Ethan, well, Pro Edge is in a good spot. Those guys
Garrison would be
have
in a better spot
couple of
if he
extra
didn't spin
spots.
out
Oh,
coming
for
to pit
sure.
road.
Garrison
Exactly.
likely would have
Because
been
now Fode's
fourth.
lead is big enough where he can save.
Actually, Garrison
feel
probably
like-
would have been third.
I feel like Fode, if he had Garrison on him and Garrison didn't have to save, it would have been hard for Fode. But now
Yeah.
with this big lead, Fode can save. He's going to be less than 2 laps short taking off here. You could save 2 laps out here by yourself the way he is.
I think it's going to
That's
be interesting here to keep an eye on these drivers now that we have a big grab bag of strategies throughout the field. You're going to have quicker guys, slower guys, kind of in the middle guys throughout the field. I'm not sure who's going to be there at the end, as we
I
have
don't think
49
anybody's
to
gonna beat
go.
Fode.
I think we'll need at least an. Oh well, there's our
Caution's
answer.
Thanks, Brent. Thanks, Brent. Caution's out on lap 151.
Kean Raleigh is reportedly pumped about this yellow.
Who was the caution?
Seth Rawls. Oh, that's just solo Seth.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, just massive overcorrect there.
Well, Seth, you made that one easy for me. Tally on the 25 here on lap 151. No, sir.
That eliminates all fuel concerns. The question is, do you come get tires?
Absolutely. You have
Well,
a
I
set
mean, if
sitting
you only
there,
have one set left, do you put them on right now, or do you bank on another caution at 20 to go?
I would
Yeah,
think
you
it,
do not want to use their last set right now, I think.
Yeah, it
if
depends
you
how many
just
sets you
pitted in
got.
you just pitted in the last 10 laps, I wouldn't say yes, but I wouldn't say no either. Depends on how you're feeling out there.
Well, we know the guys who couldn't make it for sure. Chad Frankenfield's going to come get tires. Kean's going to come get tires. There's some guys we know are going to come get tires. But if... Man, there's no way if I'm Tyler Fode, I'm putting my last
Oh, he's
set
pitting
on.
anyways.
I got you when they pop up.
He
guys.
is. Tyler Fode's coming down pit road. Man, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think they may have more sets than we... Yes, sir. I think they might have an extra set here, which would explain why these guys have opted to come down pit road. We have Jay Kaner still out on the racetrack. Tyler Pop, Dustin Durr, Matthew Weeks, Gerald Campbell, and Michael Goodman have all opted to stay out. That's your top 6. Carpenter, Cutlip, Thompson, Jaden Racimus, Rory Collins, Seth Rawls, Scott Crump, Trey Ides, and Ethan Stanley, Joe Francis, I believe, are all currently going to take the wave around if they don't pit here. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We're going to take what should be our final pit stop here on the Elite Racing Network. We'll be back in about 2 minutes' time for the conclusion of the Las Vegas 300. Don't go anywhere.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
And we are back here at the Las Vegas 300 under caution number 10 here on lap 156. The latest caution, a solo spin by Seth Rawls, able to continue on, which is a good thing for the 25. You just heard from TA Services and iRacing.com. TA, one of our premier partners here in the Elite Racing League, as well as Blue Egg Marketing. Blue Egg is the marketing department for small businesses, small business owners. Blue Egg is your biggest fan. And Worldwide Technology Raceway, a motorsport racing facility in Madison, Illinois, home to a 1.25-mile oval, 2-mile road course, quarter-mile drag strip, and a state-of-the-art karting facility known as the Kartplex. Check out Worldwide Technology Raceway today, and we're going to check out our green flag. Here we go. I saw we were coming to green. I had to run through that one, guys.
Well, you know how I felt. We're to the green.
Oh, no!
No! Oh, that's going to be big. Oh. Oh.
Matthew Weeks has peed. That was a right hook if I've ever seen one.
Oh, my God. Oh, what a shame for Dusty. And I think his teammate Goody also got involved as well.
Let's take a gander. Oh, actually.
It was Goody. Oh, damn.
Guys, I don't know if that was a hook. I think Dusty came up.
13 came down more than Dusty came up, but the
Let's take a
11 got to
look.
the outside of the 13.
I think that might be more of a racing deal, guys. Let's take a look here.
$13 definitely came down more than the 32 came up. But the 11 was getting to the 13th outside. I kind of agree with the racing deal call. Hate it for Dusty. Hate it for Goodman, the Do Good boys. Hate it for Renee.
Actually, if you look at it, yeah, it's tough. They kind of both go for the same spot there. Wow. Matthew Weeks got lucky. Lap 157 incident will be ruled a racing deal. Both drivers kind of went for the same spot, and Matthew Weeks, I think you might need a new pair of underwear. That was issued as a racing deal. The 13 came down, 32 kind of came up. Two drivers going for the same spot. Unfortunate there for the drivers involved in that one, as you heard. That was ruled a racing deal. Two drivers went for the same spot. Chad Frankenfield asking drivers to send their throwback. So if you're tuning in and have a throwback for Wednesday, send it to Chad. Brent Jones, you running a throwback Wednesday?
Yes, we are. We are running a very rare throwback, matter of fact. We are running the Stacey Compton Clorox Busch Series car from the 2002 Darlington Gatorade 300.
Brent Jones, you got any extra throwbacks?
That's a good question.
I got some people that might need some throwbacks for Wednesday.
I don't have a throwback yet. If anybody wants to throw something together
I
for me.
have all day tomorrow.
Well, let me shoot you a message after this one, Jonesy.
10-4.
I might have some
throwbacks. I'm
throwbacks
gonna drop this bombshell also because while we're in this will likely be my last racing cup for a while, full time.
Brent Jones retiring. You heard it here first.
I'm not retiring. I'm just taking a break.
Brent Jones, blow your ears out. You heard it here first.
Just changing life priorities a little bit.
Yeah, he's gonna prioritize on making sure that we got cookies up here in the racing booth every Monday night.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. What kind of cookies you making for us, Jonesy?
We can bring softbacks from the store's bakery I work at.
Ooh. Chris, you like cookies?
I love cookies.
What kind of cookies you want?
Chocolate chip works for me, or some peanut butter.
You know what I love? White chocolate macadamia cookies.
That sounds tasty.
Those are good. Those are good, my friend. Those are real good. As we look at the field, Jay Kaner, your leader. Gerald Campbell, second. Tyler Popp, third. Matthew Weeks, fourth. Tyler Fode in fifth. Latham Joyner, sixth. Kean Raleigh, seventh. Corey Abbott in eighth. Garrison Hogan, 9th. Chad Frankenfield in 10th. And we'll run you through to 20th here. Johnny Thomas, Conan Jones, Trey Holmes, Josh Robin, Ethan Burrell, the top 15. With John Cutlip, Scott Crump, Joe Francis, Ethan Stanley, and Braxton DeWeese, the top 20. And we might as well finish off the lead lappers. Tate Lytle, Jaden Racimas, Casey Hatch, Rory Collins, Connor Thompson, top 25. With David Carpenter, Trey Eidson, and Dustin Dewar rounding out the lead lap cars. 28 cars still on the lead lap here with just 40 to go. Guys, and I'm just going to put this in your ear now. We are 15 laps away from Alexander Ned's favorite part of the race, and we'll definitely be touching on that here tonight to see if maybe you want to make another race pick.
10-4?
Not yet. 25 to go. Who did you even pick at the start of this, Chris?
Ethan Stanley.
Oh,
who'd you pick,
no.
Brent Jones?
Fode.
I took Justin Fuller, so...
We had better nights up here, that's to say the least.
And I will say this, Tyler Fode has one set of tires left.
Chad Frankfield also one set of tires. So if we go 15 laps here, might be interesting. As the pace car going to make his way to pit road, driving that pace car tonight is, of course, Dave Huckleberry. He just drives everything. What a guy Dave is. Good job, Dave. Man of multiple trades. That was a quick start for Jay Kaner. He's clear. He's clear. No issues there on that one. I kind of thought he might have jumped it. But I guess as the leader, you kind of have a bit more leeway than everybody
Yep.
else.
Here comes Weeks.
I mean, you are the admin if you thought he jumped it.
When it comes to restarts, we leave it up to iRacing. iRacing restart zone. They're
Yes.
much more accurate than I am. It must have just been a great start by Jay Kaner.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was a pretty impressive
Like-
restart there.
If I've ever seen a money start, that was a money start right there for Jay. But I don't think we can count out this 11 car. Matthew Weeks, he's got a new pair of underpants on after that last incident. I wish we went on board with the 11 on that one, because Pop and Dewar both went multiple ways, and Weeks was just able to split the middle, and it was fantastic. Speaking of Weeks, he goes to the high side of Jay Kaner. I thought I just heard.
You think about looking under there. Just
Jay said, "You're not going to my outside."
Yeah, Jay said, no thank you, Matthew. We got the 9 and the 11 up front. The 9 gets into the wall. Jay Kaner slides up. Here comes Matthew Weeks to the inside. Weeks comes to the lead here, coming to 36 to go. It's the 11. He slides up in the JV Designs machine to the outside of Jay Kaner. Now he slides back down. Tyler Fody back in the picture, and here comes Latham Joyner as well, as Fody dives to the inside of Kaner. It's the 40 of Fody on the inside of the 9 of Kaner. I wish his name was like Kine or something. That would have been a lot better. The 40 of Fody and the 9 of Kine. That would have been fantastic. But it's not, and I'm not funny. As Latham Joyner looks to the inside of Jay Kaner. The 9 machine falling back a little bit here. Had a solid restart, but all for naught here, as he's going to fall to the rear. Gerald Campbell going to look, nearly gets contact from Tyler Pop.
Well, he's on older tires than everybody, right?
That is correct, but not by much. Actually, Tyler Pop, we're watching Jay Kaner. He pit on 146, so he's only 2 laps older than Matthew Weeks. So really not a huge difference.
I think Fody's about to pass Weeks. What's his tire situation?
Tyler Fody last pit on lap 153 compared to Matthew Weeks 148. So a 5-lap difference, most of that under yellow. Actually, no, not most of that under yellow. We're okay. As Fody closing that gap on Matthew Weeks, 34 laps to go, come to 33. It's the 11 out front, followed by the 40 and the 03 of Joyner. Campbell and Hogan round out the top 5. And it's Kaner, Pop, Thomas, Raleigh, and Frankenfield, the top 10.
oh, Pop Ray. Oh, there you go.
Pop was about to pop off
Same way I was about to. What's that?
as he gets to the inside of Jay Kaner once again. That is the battle for position 6. Pop currently holding that spot. He slides up. What he's going to do here is open the door for Johnny Thomas. Thomas is going to poke his nose either in the middle or the bottom whenever he has a chance and work his way forward. But Johnny's going to be very calculated about how he proceeds here. Not one to necessarily just throw it in, maybe on the last lap or a couple to go, but not with still 32 to go. You're not going to see Johnny Thomas do anything crazy, as he's got Kean Raleigh all over his rear end.
I was gonna say Johnny Thomas is probably one of the more methodical guys out here, week in and week out.
I say
And
that,
Johnny
but he is bump
Thomas,
drafting.
He has Manscaped sponsorship, or did have. I think they still are affiliated there a little bit. So you know that rear end is immaculate.
He's got Manscaped on the lower quarter panels of that machine. As here comes Kean Raleigh to the inside. We are 3 wide. Jay Kaner up top, Johnny Thomas in the middle, Kean Raleigh on the bottom, and you know that guy behind, he's going to shove it up in that hole. He's going to try to get forward as well, Chad Frankenfield.
Well, Garrison just got around Gerald for 4th, it appears.
Garrison Hogan gets by Gerald Campbell. He's chasing down Latham Joyner. Dustin Durr just entered and left the pit lane. Looks like he might have just got a little bit low on the racing surface. Chad Frankenfield getting by Jay Kaner. Kean Raleigh getting by Tyler Pop. Johnny Thomas said goodbye to all of them as he's cleared his way up into position number 6. As we are 29 to go. Now the top 5, actually still the top 5, is Weeks, Fody, Joyner, Hogan, and Campbell. But now Johnny Thomas 6th, Keenan Raleigh 7th, Tyler Pop 8th, Chad Frankenfield 9th, and Jay Kaner in 10th. And Kaner has a bit of gap over Trey Holmes, who has Ethan Burrell, Tate Lytle, Corey Abbott, and Scott Crump just behind him. But Tyler Fody is up there. He is on that rear end of Matthew Weeks, and I'd expect him to look to make a move here momentarily.
Might
I think
have a
Fody's
chance.
faster. It's
Got
just
a lap
really hard to
car
pass.
up here.
Yeah, Fody's taking a peek. That appears to be Jaden Racimus. I want to give another shout out to Jaden. I know that he's falling back now, finds himself a lap down, but he had an exceptional run going here tonight. Was in the top 10 a bit, just outside as Fody all over the rear of Matthew Weeks. But just to close that up, great run by Jaden Racimus tonight.
Yes. Probably one more impressive run since he joined the lead. That's for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Weeks
And
not
something to
giving him
build
any
off
extra
of.
room.
Guys, this is no longer a 2-car battle.
It's now 4.
This is 3 about to be 4. Latham Joyner right on the rear end, and about a 1/10 of a second back from him is the Yahoo machine of Garrison Hogan. And then they have about 0.8 of a second over Gerald Campbell. So we are having a battle for the lead, and this might end up being where that next caution comes from too, as Fody and Weeks very tight among each
Fody
other
moved
there.
up right there and said, "I'm going to run the second lane." And took it
Joyner
away.
looks to the inside of Weeks as they battle through 3 and 4. It's Joyner on the bottom, Weeks up top. Now Weeks has
he slides
a
right
rear
across
bumper
the
full of
nose.
Garrison Hogan.
This
Wow.
is a show right now.
This is nuts right here. Tyler Fody, your leader, just barely over Joyner, Weeks, Hogan, and Campbell. 25 to go. Brent Jones, are you sticking with your pick tonight?
Absolutely.
Chris Wright, who you got here with 25 to go?
Who did Brent pick?
Tyler Fody.
I guess. Well, I mean, obviously, I can't stick with my pick. My pick. He's crashed a few times.
That's true. Might as well.
I guess I'll swap over to Matthew Weeks. That's going to be my new pick.
Matthew Weeks, a good pick here. I'm going to go with... This is tough. This is tough. We got some good picks up here in Joyner, Hogan, etc. Josh Robin does come down pit road. I'm going to go with Latham Joyner here. He's charging forward in the 0-3 machine, trying to chase down Tyler Fody. I think Tyler Fody's probably going to get it. But just because of the unwritten rules of this game, I'm going to go with Latham Joyner. Joyner trying to hold off Hogan as they chase down Tyler Fody. 23 to go. Josh Robin rejoins the field. He will be the first car 1 lap down. As the leaders come up on the Dave Carpenter machine. Carpenter going to slide back. He's going to go a lap down now as Tyler Fody gets on through. Latham Joyner going to have to follow suit, but I think Joyner might be running a different line as here comes Garrison Hogan to the inside, using Carpenter as a pick to work his way from 3rd to 2nd. Great move there by Hogan. Well calculated. Matthew Weeks slipping back just a little bit here. We have a car down on the apron. Believe that was... No, not Josh Robin. I'm not sure who that was.
Is that Jeff Green?
Is Jeff even in this race?
I don't think Green's been in here a while. I think it was Dusty at this point.
Yeah, might have been Dusty. Jeff Green's been out since lap 42. And Brent, you're right.
You gotta give me some points. I thought it was a do-good.
You got the right team. You're right, Brent. Dustin Durr did come down pit road right there. So, good call, Jonesy. Good call.
Hey, cheers.
Real good, Brent Jones. Very, very observant out here on our racing track. Just taking a look through, Chad up to the 8th spot as Kaner and Pop fall back. Connor Thompson, he's battled back from, I believe, multiple laps down, now on the lead lap, scored in position number 18. So a nice rebound there by the 30 car. with just 20 laps to go here. It's Fody out front of Garrison Hogan. Hogan closing up that gap just a little bit, actually kind of staying even. Half a second back from Tyler Fody. He is half a second over Latham Joyner, and another 0.3 or so back to Matthew Weeks. Gerald Campbell, another second back, but Campbell has a mirror full. Here comes Johnny Thomas and Kian Raleigh. Thomas and Raleigh nose to tail here. Raleigh looking to the high side of Johnny Thomas. Thomas not moving over here. He's going to try to fight as far and as hard as he can as we're getting down to the late stages of this one. Just 19 laps to go for Tyler Fody, Garrison Hogan, Latham Joyner, Matthew Weeks, and Gerald Campbell, the top 5. Just checking on that gap here to the top 10. Trey Holmes closing in on Tyler Popp. They're about to be in the same camera shot. Tate Lytle just a bit behind Ethan Burrell as Corey Abbott and Kynan Jones work their way by one of the damaged lap cars. Jones having a nice night, up 15 spots. Casey Hatch up 20 spots. Ethan Burrell up 14. Tate Lytle up 21. It's Johnny Thomas up 17 tonight. Gerald up 24. Matthew Weeks 21. Garrison Hogan, well, unless something crazy happens here, he's going to be the biggest mover by far, up 40 spots from the start of this one. As we have a side-by-side battle for position number 5. It's Campbell on the high side. Johnny Thomas down low as Johnny clips the apron. A very rare slip-up from that number 91 machine. That driver usually rock solid out here and very rarely makes mistakes. As we have a battle further back, it's Jake Kaner on the high side. Chad Frankenfield down low. Frankenfield still on the inside of Kaner. Tyler Popp just behind them. That is the battle from 8th through 10th. Kynan Jones allows Trey Eidson to slip on by. We're about to have a 4-car battle here for 8. Tyler Popp very tight into the side of Chad Frankenfield. I thought that was about to bring us to a caution. Hello?
We are inside of 15 to go in an elite race. It is time to start getting our cautions.
Absolutely. As Garrison Hogan slowly closing that gap on the Tyler Fody machine. He's about 0.4 of a second back. As Tyler Popp and Chad Frankenfield continue to battle, they're trying to chase down Jay Kaner, while Kian Raleigh trying to close the gap on Johnny Thomas and Gerald Campbell as they go by Jaden Racimus once again. Battle towards the rear, Rory Collins, Ethan Stanley. Well, we even have battles for 23rd and 24th out here on the track. Always nice to see battles throughout the field. And we'll give them their TV time as well. Rory Collins gets by. As Tyler Popp, well, this is turning into a gaggle, guys. We're going to buy a couple lap cars. Tyler Popp, he's getting desperate, I think, to get by the Frankenfield machine. He looked high. Now he's looking middle as he's going to get up on the rear end of the Chad Frankenfield machine as they go by Seth Rawls. It's Popp nearly into the left rear of Frankenfield as he goes by on the inside. A little bit further up, Gerald Campbell, Johnny Thomas side by side for 5th. It's Thomas on the inside, Campbell up top, and Kian Raleigh working as a bit of a trailer here. Now, guys, I'm going to ask you this question here. Are we done with that yellow flag with just 13 to go?
No.
Jonesy? Did we lose Brent again?
I think we're 50. I'm feeling 50-50 on that.
That's not an answer, Brent. It's always 50-50. It could be yes, it could be no. What do you mean?
Sounds like a Regis Philbin Who Wants to Be a Millionaire scenario, but I'm thinking lean towards no, believe it or not.
You just call him Regis Philbin?
Yeah. I don't know. All I know is it just seems like I think we're done with the cautions. Feels too spread out.
We are 2.5 hours into this one. We are laughing at incorrectly pronounced game show hosts. As Brent said, Regis Philbin. It's Philbin. With a B. Brent Jones. Did you guys see Ryan Seacrest is going to host Wheel of Fortune?
Did not see that.
Yeah, he's taking over for Pat Sajak.
I didn't know Pat was retired.
Yeah, he's retiring.
I thought you had to do those game shows until you died.
No, Bob Barker's not dead.
Yeah, kudos to Bob Barker. Still kicking.
He's still out there. He's still wanting you to get your pet spayed or neutered. So speaking of that, get your pet spayed or neutered, folks. Help control the pet population.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of feral cats running around out here.
We got feral Chris Wrights. We got feral cats. We got Pharrell Williams. We got everything out there. As Kean Raleigh on the outside of Johnny Thomas. Raleigh trying to work his way towards the Gerald Campbell machine. 10 laps to go. 9 laps to go for Tyler Fody, Garrison Hogan, Latham Joyner, Matthew Weeks, and Gerald Campbell. That's the top 5. They're going to be 3 wide. We're going 3. And we're going back to 2. And now back to 3. Kean Raleigh in the middle. Gerald Campbell up top. Johnny Thomas down low as we come off of turn number 2. They remain 3 wide. It's Thomas on the bottom. Raleigh there in the middle. Gerald Campbell up top. That is so tight. As Kean Raleigh nearly into the side of Gerald Campbell. I thought we were about to have a caution as Kean Raleigh moves from position 7 all the way to 5th in one set of corners. And now Johnny Thomas dives to the inside once again. I thought we were about to be 3 again out here on the racetrack. These guys definitely not done with their battles yet, as Johnny Thomas and Gerald Campbell side by side. That is for the 6th and 7th position. Jesse Racimus pits from position 29. As we have another side by side, it's Kynan Jones. It's not Kynan Jones. It's Ethan Burrell and Corey Abbott, 14th and 15th. Kynan Jones got by Scott Crump. As we come now, we're coming to 6 to go this time, guys. It's Fody, Hogan, Joyner, Weeks, and Raleigh. As Raleigh's now cleared Johnny Thomas and Gerald Campbell, who have separated from each other now. Jay Kaner closing in on Gerald Campbell. Then it's Tyler Pop, who's
wrecking on the backstretch into turn 3.
Oh, man.
The 14's involved.
KC Hatch involved. We stay green.
Oh,
We're not going to stay green.
Disappointing for Hatch.
Look where Cutliff's at. There's no way that's going to stay green.
Oh.
Nope, they Cutliff backed up to make sure the caution did not come out.
And we stay green. Coming to 5 to go. Wow. Tyler Fody takes 5 to go as Ethan Burrell has the best point of the night. The iRacing gods wanted that one to end, and, well, it did. It will, hopefully. Connor Thompson picks up a 2X there. Let's see what happened to him. Looks like just some wall contact. Garrison Hogan complaining of calf muscle pain. We gotta get Goody up here for this finish. I wish he was. If he wasn't still racing, we'd pull him up here. He just had a great call over the radio chat for Tyler Fody. So it's Fody, Hogan with just 4 to go. Hogan gonna try to close that gap, but he's gonna have to send it here and make sure it sticks if he wants to get there, or we get another caution. But if we do get a caution here, guys, that's going to shake things up, because I don't know if you want to stay out here on those old tires.
You don't want to, but Chad will.
Chad will for sure. But, I mean, they last pit, what, on 153? So we'll be approaching 50 laps on these tires. You would definitely have wheel spin if you stayed out. Jay Kaner all over Gerald Campbell. He hits him. Kaner into the back of Campbell. Immediate apology out of Jay Kaner. Tyler Pop gonna go by the Jay Kaner machine, moves himself to 8th. As Tyler Fody comes around, popsicle sticks are displayed. They've been taken out of the freezer and they're in the air. 2 to go. Let's see if we stay green to the end. As long as we make it around one more time to get the white flag, that will make sure that we finish under the green flag here tonight. It's Fody, followed by Hogan, Joyner, Weeks, and Raleigh, the top 5, as Tyler Fody comes out of turn number 4. The white flag will be displayed this time for the driver of the number 40 iRace Wraps machine. White flag is out. Here we go. This is the final time we're going into turn number 1 tonight.
Yeah, well, it looks like the world is starting to come back to its faces or feet.
As we come down the back straightaway, down the Nellis straightaway towards turn number 3. Tyler Fody going to face the checkered flag this time. In the words of Michael Goodman, he was washed up for 3 weeks. Now he's back. It's Tyler Fody victorious tonight in the Las Vegas 300. Fody first, Hogan second. Joyner will come home third ahead of Matthew Weeks. Kean Raleigh rounding out the top 5. Just barely over Johnny Thomas. Thomas comes home 6th. Tyler Popp 7th. Jay Kaner in 8th. Gerald Campbell 9th. And Trey Eidson rounds out the top 10. We started really rocky here tonight, guys, with 10 early cautions, but we made it to the end. And it's Fody once again. We're going to send it to a quick commercial break as we stage up here and get ready for the top 3 interviews. We'll be right back.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
And we are back here. It's the Las Vegas 300. Tyler Fody, your winner here tonight over Garrison Hogan and Latham Joyner. We do have Latham Joyner standing by, and here he is with Chris Wright. Chris?
Latham, it was a great run tonight. You ultimately ended up 3rd. Take us through the race and how you dodged all the chaos and managed to get a podium finish.
Yeah, I mean, the first half of the race obviously was a wreck fest, and we were having them about every 20. So that was about the time to pit anyway. Every 28 laps is what it ended up being if you were going to split it like all evenly between the 7 sets. So, I mean, I just pitted. I kind of stayed on the same strategy as Fody, and then all them guys that qualified ahead of me ended up just wrecking or getting damaged or something, and I managed to somehow end up second there during that one run, and I just kind of held that position. And then Garrison, obviously, he's a whole lot better at saving tires. Him and Fody were really the class of the field there, and I think I could have ended up second, maybe beating him on that really, really long run we had there in the second half. Because he said he missed his box. I think I had him by almost 7 or 6 seconds there if I could have just held on to that. But I'm happy with 3rd. I think that's where I deserve to finish based on that second half of the race with the long runs and everything. So I'm happy with it.
All right, now we'll hand you off to Brent.
All right, this is Brent Jones, the booth here, Latham. You were on the rails there for a little bit in that last run. Did you think you were going to get the lead at any point, or you were just selling just for a finish you were going to get?
Well, I just think Weeks was kind of holding up Fody, seeing if he couldn't back him off into me or Garrison or somebody as we were catching him and try to get him to race him and use up maybe his right front a little bit more. He could hook that seam through 1 and 2 really, really well. I don't know if it just burnt more right rear than right front or what he was doing, but he had it on rails up there. I tried running it, and I could not figure it out lap after lap. But he was just so consistent. I think Weeks just held him up, and then as soon as he got clear, I pretty much had to push the issue, and I tried to stay with him, but I just didn't have it in me, and then I just let Garrison go because I figured they would have a closer race than I would with him. So
Hey, any people you want to shout, sponsors, people in general?
Yeah, I want to thank my team, Diamond Speed Lab, obviously, and I want to thank Premier Racing Chassis, Charger Racing Chassis as well, and then Elite Cuts by Josh Evans, Excalibur Racing Engines, and then y'all for the broadcast and how y'all do for this league.
Cheers.
That was Latham Joyner, your third place finisher here tonight. Let's go ahead and bring in Garrison Hogan, the runner-up, standing by with Chris Wright.
Garrison, solid run tonight. Managed to dodge all the chaos. Talk us through your race, and if you had anything there to go get Fody at the end.
I had nothing but space and opportunity if I were like right behind him or next to him on a restart, but I had too many cars to pass at the end, and that was a tough race if you weren't in clean air. And once he got to the clean air, I knew I was done. There was only one opportunity to get to him, and once we pretty much got space back out after we had the guy that was in second fall off just a tad, I think it was weak, and it kind of gave him a gap, and that was pretty much it. And then I started cramping, and he was just saying the same thing about his quad. So I guess it was the battle of the cramps at the end.
All right, I will hand you over to Brent Jones.
Hey, this is Brent here, Garrison. First of all, it's kind of awkward. I just realized we had 2 Yahoo paints in Cup this season.
Yeah, I didn't notice it yet. I mean, don't kill me.
Nah, man. It's just a paint scheme.
Yeah,
anyway, you were in the middle of those battles tonight. Was there any point where you think you were going to get involved in anyone's wreck, especially with that top secret strategy around the end of that first stage?
No, it was more about kind of just positioning myself to be at the front, knowing that the wrecks would come at a certain point. Like if we get one typically in this league, we get maybe 2 more after or so. So I just wanted to stay out, and stage points also affected that too. So getting P2, I think, in both stages helped me out. And at the end, you know, I did make a mistake, but ultimately I still got back up to second. So overall, it was a solid night, I would say, on the strategy part because it got me almost maximum point.
Alrighty, that sounds very good. You got any people you want to shout out, folks, sponsors?
Thanks to Pro Edge and Fueled Up Racing. This has been a weird season so far. I feel like everybody on the team has pretty much had some sort of bad luck. Hopefully it doesn't come my way, but I mean, I've had a couple things go wrong, so hopefully their luck doesn't shift to me. Thanks for Chad and everyone that puts on the league. Thanks for you guys that broadcast the race and sponsors that also help us out. And yeah, you guys, I'm pretty sure did a great job in the broadcast booth getting us through the middle of that race and kind of the beginning too. So I'll look forward to watching it back.
Yeah, cheers, Garrison. It wasn't easy. I fell out at one point, but we're still here.
Oh, I'm glad you are. And Chris, I'm glad to see you back, man.
Yeah, thanks, man. It was a rough week last week, but we're ready to go. I'm a little disappointed in the way that first half of the race was, though, Garrison. You got to talk to them boys.
Hey, man, I say a lot every week, but I mean, it is what it is at this point. Hopefully the tally system or something changes at the end of the year and we can get better with that. So we'll see what happens.
And that is Garrison Hogan, your runner-up here tonight. And now finally standing by, the man of the hour, Tyler Fody. Winner once again with Brent Jones in the booth.
Well, just when I thought we were finally getting rid of you, here we are. How we doing tonight, Fody?
Pretty good, dude. Pretty good.
Alrighty, walk us through that last couple runs there. You seemed like you had the strategy and the tire management down pat there tonight.
Yeah, I was just trying to stay on top of it most of the night. There were a couple times where we kind of had to put ourselves back in the field and just kind of get lucky with dodging some wrecks and getting back to the clean air. I don't know if it was just this tractor in the daytime or what, because we've normally run it at night, but it just seemed like the clean air was so powerful. And if you had 2 guys on level tires, it was nearly impossible to try and make a pass on the lead car. So I was just trying to control that. And yeah, got a little tense on the last run. I think I had a lap or 2 over Weeks on the tires, but he raced me hard for it, and it was a fun time. But I was kind of worried Garrison might start mounting a charge there, but we were able to hold it off. So really happy with the result.
Roger, Dodger. Chris, you got anything to add?
Nah, just congrats on the win there, Fody, tonight. It was a little bit difficult getting to talk to you there about tires left and whatnot. Thought you guys were keeping it close to the vest, but nonetheless didn't get another caution, although it was pretty close there at the end. So just congrats on the run, and hopefully on Wednesday night you can finish second or third and I'm one of the cars in front of you.
Yeah, we'll see.
Well, Tyler, before we let you go, any shout-outs you want to give? Any sponsors you want to thank?
Yeah, I mean the Lake Norman guys, we had a up and down night between the whole team. Ethan Stanley, I thought we were going to be cruising 1-2, and he got tight or something early on there and just absolutely killed the fence. Crump and Robin and Vince, they were doing their own thing, and Robin honestly was having an awesome run, and he got caught up in some unfortunate stuff. So kind of hate that for him, but the speed seems to always be there for the most part with everybody. We just got to capitalize on the race when it comes to us. But yeah, shout out to those guys, iWraps for painting our schemes, Blue Leg Marketing, and you guys for being up here in the booth. Happy to talk to you again too, Brent.
Cheers, Bodie.
Well, congratulations, Tyler, on another victory, and we will see you Wednesday night at Darlington.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Well, boys, that will just about do it once again for us here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Yet another race here in the Rebilas Photography Grand National Series. Final thoughts from you guys on what was an up and down night here for the boys in the B Series.
That was a rough middle part of that race right there. Even I thought the servers I noted at one point because of my router issues, but these guys hung tough and they decided to race their heads in the second half and made a pretty dang good, decent show out of it.
Yeah, Chris, what do you got, bud?
Man, it was a little crazy there at the start. You know, it got cleaned up there for the second half, so I'm glad that happened. I didn't want to see a total wreck fest there for 3 hours, but hopefully a little bit better next week. I know Indy was a pretty good show, so let's get back to that. That's the way we want to see it. We want to see long green flag runs and the strategy, so maybe we'll get that next week. And especially, I do not want to race in Darlington with 30 cautions. So let's clean it up for Wednesday before we ever start that race.
Absolutely. Let's try to clean it up. But that will just about do it for us here tonight. This has been another Rebilas Photography Grand National Series race. Again, tomorrow night, join us 7:30 Eastern Time over here on the Elite Racing Network for race number 1 of the playoffs in the Pit Pass Network ARCA Series. Myself and Chris Wright will be on the call for that. Maybe Brent Jones will be behind the wheel. I'm not sure. Brent, you gonna be there?
We'll see. Depends how many people paint you want to slap me on the next 12 hours.
Brent won't be there. He's got lots of work to do. He's got lots of work to do, that's for sure. But, guys, that will do it for us here tonight. Want to give a quick thank you to Chad Frankfield, Dave Hunkleberry, everyone else behind the scenes that you don't see that helps keep this show on the road. And looking forward to being back here tomorrow night, Wednesday night. Thursday will be Dave and Chris up here for the Open Wheel Series. And then we'll see you Sunday night for some truck racing. But thanks, everyone, for tuning in. And have yourself a great night here once again. And Brent Jones, send us off, bud.
Cheers.
Cheers.